Hello, everybody. Hi, Ava. Who's a good girl? Who wants her Blue Buffalo protein bars? Or trail treats. My bad. The health bars are the other ones. It kind of got them mixed up. My bad. We have... Oh, you can just barely see Snitch right there. He was chasing the butterfly. There he is. There's my Snitch. And then on this side, we had Earl that was chasing the ball on that thing. I think he darted into one of the tunnels. Yeah, it must be. I have never been happier in all my life. Seeing these guys as happy as they are is just the best feeling ever. They are so fun to watch and play with. They're absolutely amazing. I am probably the luckiest person in the world right now, I'm telling you. I feel like it anyways. Hello, Jerry Matthew Boyd. I just went fuzzy. I think it's catching my curtain. There we go. We'll try that. So we'll do this again. Hello, Jerry Matthew Boyd. Hi, Ava. What's up, babes? What's up, baby girl? Yeah, it's a good girl. There's Earl. There's Earl. Ava, lay down. Oh, you jealous, girl. Oh, my gosh. You're so jealous. Without these cats, you would get substantially less treats. Because probably half your treat diet is plates of cat food that they didn't eat. And they won't eat it once it's been sitting out for even a little while. Yeah. You love your cat food cans. Nothing goes to waste around here. I open the wet cat food cans and I toss her the can after I tap the food out of it. Hi, Billy. Hi, baby boy. Yes, you come lay in this bed over here. I got this bed all nice and comfy, and I put catnip in it for you. And you sit in front of my keyboard. Thank you. Not helpful at all. Can I have my mouse, please? Thank you. Hi. Stop it. Why are you being so grumpy? She's been swatting at Snitch. Oh, Snitch is laying on the wheel. I wonder. Ava, stop. No? Not gonna happen? Not interested? You don't want to see what it does? Not even curious. Not even a little bit. No, okay. I tried. Welcome back, Billy. And my mouse again. Thank you. You're such a good boy. You're such a mama's boy. Mama's boy, Billy. Mama's girl, Ava. Yeah. They're all spoiled. If nobody noticed. Hello, Buzzy Pug. Hello, Nana Laura, honey. Hello, C-Rex. Oh, was Jerry asking? I'm shocked. I don't believe you. That never would happen. Hello, Wolf Lord Lover. Good to see you, honey. I thought I'd come on early since last night my internet crashed. I was very unhappy about it. If nobody noticed, if it was not apparent, I was very, very, very irritated. Oops. Turn off my Discord. I had better close the YouTube notice also, or it's going to start talking. Can you scoot your furry butt, please? Thank you. Thank you. Hey, why are you telling everybody my forecast? I was just whining about that a minute ago. That, we're supposed to get blusteriness tomorrow. The wind has already started here. My curtain was just a whoa, just a going. Can you decide where you want to put that tail, please? In my way? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I'll work around you. Hello, Eileen and Carlin. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Purple Kiv. Hello, C. Ginny. Good to see you. It's been a long time and I've missed you. Yes. Oh, I just discovered today that the butterfly spins independently. And I love it. Oh, and he's learned that he can reactivate it himself by playing with the butterfly. It's so cute. It is so, so cute. Oh my gosh, I love these guys. I hear grumbling. You two quit it. Thank you. Good job. Hello, Amanda Roderick. Good to see you, honey. Oh, no. I hate when sickies get passed around the house. That's no fun at all. Hello, Joey Big Donuts. Yeah, I know it's tough to believe. I mean, they're also emaciated and lethargic and act like they've never been pet before in their lives. Sarcasm is on point tonight, you guys. Well, no, not tomorrow. The day after tomorrow. It is no fun having the name April on April 1st. You know, because every old man tells the exact same jokes. Every single, and they all think they're so clever for it. Mm-hmm. Are you the fool that we should be looking out for? April? Well, where's May and June? Are they your sisters? Oh, I never heard it before. Typically, I pulled it off better than that. That's how I felt on the inside. Hello, Patrick B. Good to see you. Oh no! Last time I had storm damage, my gutter literally just half of it fell off the house, and so it was just diagonal across the back of the house. Had to have a buddy of mine from another town come over and like screw my gutters back underneath my shingles. I wasn't getting on that ladder. Oh, we'll see. I've got 2 hours of fun planned already. We'll see. We'll see. I almost threw it into the editor, and then I was like, holy cats, there's 2 hours there. We'll see. Yep, Nana Laura should be expecting it within the hour. Hello, Allison Annie. That's about all that gets turned on around here. No, but they get songs written about them. You know, Wake Me Up When November Ends. Okay. I will try. Why are you licking my knee? Please stop that. I just love when you're here. Hey, how'd the singing go? I know you had to leave early the other night for it because you had it booked and yeah, they're great. I even got a new one. He ran in my house the day of the last big blizzard. Snitch. Hey, Snitch, come here. Come here, baby boy. I know that butterfly is so cool. Oh, hi, Earl. Are you going to be jealous, boy, too? Oh, hi, Ava. Oh, my gosh. How dare I call one of them and not all of them simultaneously? Oh, fine to you, too. Yeah, they're all good. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, sweetie. Yep. There's now Billy O.T., Earl Grey the cat, Bandit, Snitch, and Tiny Kitten Esquire. How did I have... What? I gotta rewatch how I did that, because I ended like there were 6, but there's not. Billy O.T., Earl Grey the cat, Bandit, Snitch, and Tiny Kitten Esquire. 5. I'm like, how did another one sneak in there? No. Kind of, sort of, yeah, maybe. I mean, you look behind me and all you see is cat toys and trinkets and... I mean, there's some dog stuff mixed in too, but that's mostly bones that she's left lying around. But she doesn't like toys. She's the only dog I've ever met that doesn't like toys of any kind. She has no desire to play whatsoever. She just wants constant pets and belly rubs and attention and hugs and loves and kisses and be all over me. But no toys. Oh, Patrick B., that Snitch right there. He's an elderly cat. I'm thinking, I don't know, he's... Okay, maybe he's not elderly, but I 100% guarantee that he's Tiny Kitten's mom. Or dad, I mean. And I'm thinking based on the size of his head, is about 4 or 5 years old. He struggles with his back hips. I think he has an injury from his time out on the streets. That's the most that wheel's moved with cat power since I got it hooked up. But yeah, like when he sits down, he sits funny. Like he sits off of his hips. Like his hips are out to the side. Like it doesn't look like any cat sitting that I've ever seen before in my life. And he looks like he's in constant pain when he walks. So my goal is just to give him the best life I can. That's the goal. That's the function. That's my purpose in life. That's why I'm here. Not if his mama has anything to say about it. She would too. She absolutely would. Me too. I think they're the best friends. They're amazing. They're so fun to watch. I can't wait. I'm getting a pet camera. I'm getting one from Best Buy, and I'm going to hook it onto the wall, and you guys will be able to watch them the whole time. I better sexy texty Morty. Hold on, let me see if I can find the bat signal. I know I have it. Give me 1 second here. Duke of Earl. Upload a file. Did I throw it into PAWFURM? I think I threw it in PAWFURM. There it is, the cat signal. There. Hopefully he knows what I mean. He should. He's a smart guy. Yeah, you just wait. It won't be long. I just have to. I'm getting it from Best Buy. I've got a Best Buy premium account, so that's where I get all my electronics from. So my niece, when she was like toddler age, she was obsessed with the way my mom made ramen. My mom made creamy chicken ramen, and she'd always add just a little slab of butter in there to make it more creamy. It was pretty good. It was. I'm not gonna lie. But my niece would always ask for ramen when she was so tired. And we said she was so hungry she couldn't keep her eyes open. That was the line in my house. And my mom would start the ramen noodles in the microwave, 6 minutes, and by the time they were halfway done, my niece would be out cold, and then my mom would eat the ramen. Oh, I did. As a matter of fact. And you know what? It says coffee on the box. I had a sneaking suspicion it was you. Let me grab it really quickly, okay? I'll be right back, you guys. You'll have to cat watch until then. Cat sit. You guys will have to cat sit. It's right outside the door. It's gonna take me just a second. Oh my gosh! He's on the shelf. Oh. Ow! All right. Billy's like, "What are you doing, lady?" I winged it. It was right outside of my door. Oh, you quit your grumbling, Tiny. Act like I don't hear you. You stop it. Oh, you quit it. I hear you in that tunnel. Why are you being mean to your daddy, huh? Hey. Oh. That poor cat. Hi, buddy. Come here. I know. You gotta show everybody your beautiful self. Hi. Yeah, hi. Are you having a good day? Are you having a good day, Snitch? His coat's looking so much healthier. Billy swats him, but he does it with claws closed. Oh, okay. Oh, getting comfy? You getting comfortable? Okay, guys. I gotta show this to you. Cutest thing ever. Eileen, you're gonna love this. You're gonna see my messy desk in a moment, but he's holding the gavel. He's holding on to the gavel. Hi, baby boy. Hi. You sweet prince. I love you more than you will ever know. Yes, you good boy. Yes, you good boy. He's so content being my baby. So content being my baby. Once I start streaming the cats, probably. I tell you, nobody comes here for me. They are tiny little house panthers. What was that, Ava? Ava just belched again. That is Snitch. You do not have to go potty. And Snitch keeps trying to be friends with Ava. So far, it's not going well for anybody but Ava. Ava actually not bit, but did the yap, yap, yap at Snitch. Like, Snitch is trying to be friends with all of them, and they're all not. I think I need to get refills on the Feel Away and start putting that back up. Ooh, I have the spray still. Not a lot of it, but I still have some. It's a Feel Away cat hormone. So it's supposed to help them. Getting there, Charlie. Getting there. Trying not to jump through the jolts so much or yelp. Hi, Billy. Welcome up here, baby. Now you know you're going to have to share your mommy space. I got coffee. Hey, that's me, you silly butt. To you too. Bones Coffee. I'm going to be taking a few ways. Maybe it's coffee for doggies. Don't you start with him. Why you gotta be so mean? Ooh. That's kind of cool. I thought you loved me. The dark side, chocolate truffle. Now, this is hilarious. Because Charlie knows there's one thing I hate, and that's Star Wars. He knows that he did this on purpose. Charlie, I love you so much. I am a Trekkie through and through. Smell me, squeeze and sniff, it says. I don't mind if I do. Oh, I don't even care that it's Star Wars at this point. No. This is cool. Coffee belt map. South Central American Indonesia. Legendary... Okay. Awaken your inner fire with our legendary Dragon's Lair Dark Roast Blend. This epic South Central American and Indonesian blend boasts bold, smoky flavors with notes of caramelized sugars and cacao. Sorry. That's one of my favorite words, cacao. We'll have you ready to conquer whatever challenge awaits. Oh, they've heard of me, huh? Like, this girl needs a pick-me-up. I love the art on their bags. Like, that is absolutely amazing. Beautiful, beautiful. It doesn't say squeeze me, though. I like the squeeze and sniff. Still works, though. Did you get a little shock there, Earl? Get a little surprise? Earl just jumped up. And Snitch is already there. I love this. Charlie, thank you so much. Use 2 tablespoons of ground coffee per 6 ounces of water. I'll take your suggestion and make it stronger. is awesome. I'm just entranced with this packaging. I love the detail of the dragon. That's so beautiful. Like, I'm going to have to save this bag. I'm definitely taking lots of pictures of it and sharing them with my daughter. And with her best friend that loves Star Wars. Can't believe you're making me say it so many times. I do love how it smells. That's all right. Here, you guys can have this side and I'll have this side. Because this side that I'm looking at has the smell me tag. And I don't need to look at the other side. You guys can. Well, hello, Tiny Kitten Esquire. Are you going to be a good girl? I don't know. You all heard it right here. I told you, she talks. She talks and Snitch talks. Gee, where'd you get it from? Did your daddy teach you that? No, he ran off as you were a tiny kitten, not even born yet. No wonder she don't like you. So, oh, you're reformed now. Okay. You've learned the error of your ways and you've come back to help her. Okay. That's a good daddy right there. You just want the box, little brat. Here I thought you were coming to be by me. You just want the box. Charlie gives presents to all. Here you go. There you go, baby. It's all yours. You can have it now. All yours. Okay, I'm going to start streaming again, okay? Yeah. I agree. I love them already, and I love you so much. Thank you. It's an honor. Oh, I'm laughing so hard. I have tears coming out of my eyes. All right, I'm going to put the cases on.
And so really want to keep things civil and direct everything towards me, please. I'm going to start with the plaintiffs. So it does look like we have Christopher Sims and Christy Weicker here as the plaintiffs. For you guys, how it's going to work is I'm going to have you guys raise your right hand and swear upon the statements that you're going to give, and then I will have you give your testimony. Then you guys hold on a second. Then we'll turn it over to Mr. Murray, and then once Mr. Murray speaks, then we'll turn it back to you as the plaintiff. You'll have a chance to give any rebuttal testimony. If I will start with Mr. Sims, can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Oh, you're muted. All
Yes.
right. You do? Okay. And just for the record, his right hand is raised, and I did note that you indicated in the affirmative, but you were still muted. Okay. And Ms. Weicker, can you do the same? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Murray, I'm going to ask you to please mute your device while the plaintiffs are speaking in this matter, and then we'll turn the attention to you. So, again, I have had a chance to review exhibits, but please, I would like you to present, and I ask that just one of you kind of speaks at a time, just so talking over each other can kind of get a little difficult. So, if we could just speak one at a time, why don't you start from the beginning? With why we're here today for the claim.
We're here today for the contract breach of the trailer. We went into a rent-to-own contract, $750 a month for the space rent and $250 a month for the actual trailer. It was a rent-to-own. That $250 a month would have lasted about 36 months for the total to be paid off. So that's, and we're basically here to get that back because of the contract termination, and as well as all of the fixes and parts that had to be put into it.
Okay. So, and this goes for Mr. Murray as well. So, I may be asking questions throughout your portion as well, just to provide myself some clarification as well. So the contract you stated was, you said $750 a month for the space and $250 a month for the actual unit, and that was the rent to own portion, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I'm asking for back is not the $750 a month. That was for the space
Correct.
rent. That's got nothing to do with it.
Okay. Except for the 2 weeks in July, it looks like that you guys had
2
paid
weeks
rent
in
but weren't allowed
July.
on the property.
Correct.
Okay. So, and I did review, so there was a lot of like text messages back and forth and a lot of photographs. So can you just, I guess, was the contract for this rent to own, was that a written contract?
It was a written contract. You can see it in the pictures there that I submitted, but you just can't read it very good. I didn't have a
Okay.
good print to print
That's what I
off.
was kind of wondering. I think I thought that's what I saw, but it's very difficult to read in the exhibits. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's pretty it's not, I can't personally read these tiny little, it's pretty blurry, so but
It
it's
specifically states a thousand a month for 36 months. That is $750 a month for space rent. That's $250 a month for the trailer rent plus $1,000 deposit.
okay, so you had the $1,000 deposit.
We made that in payments to him each month, and I believe on the receipts it states the same.
Sure.
We did not submit the receipts.
Okay, so why don't you give me a little bit of background as to, because I know that in your request, in your claim, I mean, we have batteries, we have vent fan, roof vent cover, water heater, the
Silver.
the sealant, the tank. So we have 2 gray tanks, 1 black tank with the valve and pull.
Those are just valves alone, valve and pull cables alone,
Okay.
not the tanks themselves.
Okay. And then we have the 2 weeks in July that you weren't allowed on the property. Okay. So
Correct.
why don't we just I don't know if any of those can kind of be combined. Does that make sense? So like, but kind of let's go down and break through like why you're claiming each of these, right? So why $400 for the battery?
Because the batteries are expensive. When I got there, there was one battery in the trailer that was not holding life. It was a Group 24, so a small battery for that trailer. The proper way to do a trailer there is two Group 27s. So that's what was put in.
Every time I've lived in a lot rent situation, and it's been a few times, lot rent has been in the vicinity of $200. Now, again, that's Wisconsin pricing, though, and this is Cowlitz County, so I don't know how different Washington is. Maybe land is more expensive there than it is here, but they break it down a little bit more a little later on.
So you did that yourself?
Correct. I'm
And
an
then-
RV technician, so
I did see that in the letter that was, I think, attached to the small claims as well. So you're familiar with like the RV repairs and all of that because that's what you do. Okay. And was he aware about the battery issue from your perspective?
I didn't mention anything to him because it was a rent to own. I just treated it like mine. So I didn't ask him for anything for it. I didn't,
Okay,
because
so
I just assumed it was going to be mine. So
sure. Okay. And then is that the same thing for like the rest of the items, like the vent fan, roof vent cover? So all of these repairs were made. Was he aware that you were making repairs to this unit in anticipation of it being like the rent to
I
own?
told him in passing,
Okay.
but it's not, anything that I didn't think that this whole thing would have come down to this. So I didn't,
Sure.
say much.
Okay. Um, and so tell me about, and that goes for, again, sorry, I'm just, if this is repetitive, but so this goes for the batteries, the vent fan, the roof vent cover, the water heater, not the sale and deposit. I'm guessing that's pure for the unit itself with the $250 a month type of thing. Okay. So
And he
not
paid
that.
half of the water heater. So
And what?
there was a huge leak when we first moved in out of the water heater. So he paid for half of the water heater upon, move-in agreement.
Okay.
And
And
he
what,
was also,
so I think I did remember seeing
okay,
that. So you're only asking for the 400 that you contributed to the water
correct.
heater, not the extra money that he
Not the
also
full.
paid. I think it was the 450 that he paid.
I think so.
Okay. And then so we have batteries, vent fan, roof vent, water heater, the roof reseal and sealant. That's $150, same thing as the other
Yes.
stuff. Okay. And then we have the $400 for the tanks. Or is that for the valve and pull? It's kind of all in one block, so it's hard to.
Oh, that's just for the valve and pulls. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of room to write everything down. So
It's all good. And then we had the $105 for the 2 weeks in July. So why don't we talk about this 2 weeks in July for the $105?
So we were paid up throughout the end of July because of everything that was going on, the hostility, the harassment. We decided that it was best that we move on. We were paid out to the end of July. We were trying to find a place to take the trailer, and I had to come down here to Coos Bay for an interview one weekend. So we drove down here that weekend. We had, taken a couple truckloads out to storage to make things a little bit easier, when it was finally time to move. And on our way down here for my interview that weekend, we got a text message from him with, some language and calling me a druggie and a crankster, to be exact. And that I'm not allowed back on the property, and that he's killed the water and power and everything else to the trailer. I advised him that I still have my things there. We still live there, and we're paid out to the end of July. And he told me I'm not allowed back on the property. I can come get my stuff as long as he's with me, but everything else is locked out.
So and I think again, I think I did remember reading this, but was there any eviction proceedings?
Negative. He going back when everything first started, he was trying to fight me at his house there, or at his mother-in-law's house, and ended up punching a thing right next to me, and then yelled at me that I've got 24 hours to get the trailer and the vehicles out, or he was going to tow them. So I don't know if that's considered an eviction, but there was no official eviction letters done besides just verbal. I'm going to tow your stuff. You need to get out now. Don't come back, kind of thing.
Okay. And is that when you left for the job interview, or did
It was a little bit later, probably a week later. So
but he didn't follow through with towing in the 24 hours that he had
nothing,
like basically threatened to evict you guys?
nothing was towed.
Okay. Um, and no, you didn't receive any like formal eviction
Negative.
paperwork or anything like that? Anything in writing about that?
There might be in those text messages there. We can go through it and look and see if there's anything in there.
But you had it was like a 36-month kind of, you're leasing that space, correct?
Well, the space was just a space. The whole contract was for the trailer itself, $250 a month for 36 months.
Okay. And then whatever the space, you pay that amount, the $750 per
Right.
month for whatever location it was parked in on that property.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So let's get back to oh, and so just real quick, when you were down for the interview, you stated that he had like locked everything up. What do you mean by that?
He put a padlock on the water, killed the electrical. It's in one of the text messages here
Mhm.
saying that I'm not allowed back. I'm a crankster, and he's killed the water and utilities and everything to the trailer.
Okay. And was that news to you was that the first time you had heard that?
Yes. He says, she's almost found the message for it. So
It's quite all right. Yeah, no, that's fine. We started a little early, so.
he said, as of right now, no water and no power to the RV. This is on page number 32.
Thank you.
He
Thank you for
says,
helping direct me.
yeah, no power, no water to the RV, and the water's been locked out. Truckload after truckload with no communication on you guys. Gave up on trailer when I saw everything being moved out.
It doesn't matter if they're taking trailer after trailer of stuff out of the RV that they are purchasing. They're renting to own. How do you know they're not going to tear out every wall in it and redo the entire inside? You don't know. You don't know why they're taking stuff out. That is not cause for eviction just because you see boxes moving.
So he already knew that we were leaving. I didn't have to tell him my step by step on, what I'm taking and where I'm taking it. I said, I paid till the end of the month. I still live there till the end of the month. What you are doing is illegal, and I hope you understand that. I still have things there that are mine. I put money, but it's supposed to be mine, and we haven't moved out yet. And he said, you can come empty it all you want. Pics have already been sent to the outside and anything on trailer. So almost like he's telling me that I'm going to come back and mess it up or something. And then he says, I will win like I always do. I am done with your guys' crap. There will be a truck parked in front of the fifth wheel in his name, which it wasn't in his name. It's never been registered in the state of Washington when I found out.
Isn't he just a cocky, arrogant little chip on the shoulder? Not this guy. The other one.
Because when he originally told me that I was going to take it with me, I called the DMV to see if, what needed to be done. And they say it's never even been registered in the state of Washington. It still had on plates from somewhere else. He said, any problems, you can meet me here anytime and see where and how you want to proceed. 36 months, just what you signed. So 36 months is that $250 a month for the trailer.
Okay. And so, and again, so the big portion of your claim right now is the sale and deposit for this fifth wheel, right? So let's break down how we got to that amount, $7,550.
Yeah, can I see your code?
Yeah. Okay.
So it would be, I think he said on one of them 14 months, the other one he said 15 months. So I can't remember if I did that to 15 months or 14 months, but 250 times 15 is $3,750. And then $1,000 deposit plus all the parts.
Okay. So that's how you got, so it was $250 plus times the 15 months that you had made payments on it. And then, plus the $1,000 security deposit.
Correct.
Plus. And so the security deposit, did that, in your agreement, the security deposit, it's really hard to tell again in the pictures. I guess, what was the agreement of the parties with that security deposit? Was there any language about, him retaining a security deposit if certain conditions are, met, or what?
I can't remember the exact wording. It had some wording in there such as if they deem something.
Okay.
So basically, if it's clean and undamaged and so on and so forth, I think it was more for the property than the trailer since it was a rent to own.
Right, it's a rent to own, so it's a little bit different in that regard. But okay, so the security deposit was just basically, it's like, it probably encompassed the 36 months of the period that you would be renting to own, and also the space too. Okay.
That's how I took it.
Okay, but okay. And you're just seeking to claim all of it looks like the repairs that you made yourself. You're
Correct.
seeking to the compensation for those, and those are the parts. And so you paid $400 for batteries.
Yes, and that's just the parts alone. That's not labor or anything. I'm not
Sure.
worried about the labor. So
This is just pure parts. So the vent fan, $200, the root vent, $500. And then the water heater, that was the portion of it because he paid a part of it. The roof seal, $150, and the sealant. Okay. All right. So it kind of comes down to three things we have right here. We have the sale and deposit, which would be kind of the big chunk of the claim. And then we have kind of the repair, you're seeking the reimbursement for the repairs or the parts that you used to repair the motorhome that was eventually taken from that. And then the $105 for the 2 weeks in July. Does that sound about accurate? We kind of have like three categories of charges right here. Okay.
yes.
All right. Is there anything you wanted to say, or Ms. Weicker, is there anything else you wanted to add? Again, you'll have a chance to speak after Mr. Murray does, but just before I turn it to
The other reason for the no, that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
I think that covers it for right now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and then, all right, so I'm gonna ask you guys to mute, please. And then, Mr. Murray, if you could unmute. All right. Can you please raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, so we have here, you've had a chance to review the exhibits. I've had a chance to review the exhibits, but why don't we start from, let's start from your perspective from the beginning.
Well, basically, it's pretty simple. It's $1,000 a month for 36 months. They moved out on month 14, 15. I can't remember which one it was, but we have receipts for all that. So they paid everything like they were supposed to. They moved out. They never received an eviction notice. They never received anything. This trailer was something that I brought up there that I got from my buddy, and we set it up for $1,000 a month for 36 months. The title will be signed over to him when he pays the 36 month. He can pull it off the property. He can do whatever it is he wants to do. Good to go. They only made it 14 or 15 months. I never gave them nothing. I don't know. They just moved out. I locked the water. First of all, the power was never locked out. It was hardwired. I put a lock on the water because the neighbors came over and told me that they were going to flood the trailer. So that's what I did. Now, they never told me they needed it unlocked or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, well, I ain't going to take a chance at my trailer getting ruined. So second of all is as far as all the parts being bought, absolutely. That was very respectful of him to say, yeah, I paid for half of that because the first week they moved in, they had a problem with the hot water tank. Okay, it's not my responsibility to pay for half of their hot water tank, but I did it to be, whatever. They're a new tenant. So if you want a hot water tank, I'll pay for half of it. No big deal. Okay. I don't know about any of the other repairs. Did not know about anything. did not receive any bills for these, it's not my responsibility to fix his trailer, nor is it my responsibility to let him pull a trailer out of there on month 15 when the contract has not been fulfilled. And neither do I own the property, or do I even have anything to do with the property other than just helping the 80-year-old woman that owns it run it. That's it. So
Wait, so you don't, how was so the contract, was it entered with the property owner or you?
the rental agreement was, and it's really not a contract, it's a rental agreement. What was
Well, a rental
given to
agreement
you.
is,
It's a what?
it is kind of a contract. That is a written document where
Oh.
parties have come to consideration in terms.
Okay, that was written by the homeowner.
Okay, so not you?
No, ma'am.
So,
And all this stuff was in there. And as far as the roof caulking, I mean, I just chuckle on that because I ordered a whole case of roof caulking off of my Amazon Prime account and gave it to him. So why am I being charged for something that I ordered on my account and just handed it to him? So I don't really know.
okay, I need to hold on. So the contract for this is $1,000 a month, but it's broken down, correct? $750 for the space and $250 for a rent to own for the trailer. Or the
Yes.
fifth wheel, right? Okay, so that contract was entered not with you, but the property owner?
Yes, ma'am.
Then how do you have any authority to evict them?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. And I didn't evict them.
Oh, but you locked the water, you parked cars and threatened to park cars in front of, so they couldn't take it. At
Right.
least that's
They
what your
can't.
text messages said. So you said there's nothing stopping them from taking the fifth wheel off the property, but you did.
Yeah, they can't take the fifth wheel off the property until the 36th month. Did you read the rental agreement?
Oh, sir. All right. If you can't keep things civil, we're gonna have a tough time here. So,
Okay.
reminder for you to keep things civil. This is a court of law. I'm a judge, so please remember that there's certain courtroom decorum that you must follow.
Okay.
Did you supply the rental agreement in your exhibits?
Yes.
All right.
I believe so. I gotta look here.
All right.
How's that I'll win like I always do thing feeling right about now? I don't think you're supposed to act like that towards the judge if you want to win.
Rental agreement. The problem is that I have with this is, let's see. I don't even know who the landlord is in this agreement.
Can I tell you?
Sure.
That would be my mother-in-law, Gail Gerlach.
Okay, I don't see this. Okay, this agreement that I have,
Yep.
it's not signed by anybody.
It's not signed by who?
Anybody.
Well, didn't the tenant sign it?
It says, I agree by acknowledge that have been read, understood, and agreed all the parts of the document have received a copy, but I don't see they've received a copy, but it says the landlord. They're not the landlord. So I'm kind of confused by this agreement.
What page is that, ma'am?
2.
Okay,
Right.
thanks.
The literally says under the green section that you stated, that says date 4/6/24, and then right next to it says landlord.
Okay.
And the problem is I have a lot of these like handwritten things, so I'm not sure. I guess I'll have to ask.
Well, I'm pulling it up right now. Sorry, I didn't have it with me. But anyways, my mother-in-law made that rental agreement for them to sign. Now I haven't, oh, okay, here's the rental agreement. Okay. So yeah, so I think on the back page, like you stated, 4/6/24, I see both of their signatures, but then on the other one, I don't.
That's not their signature. That looks like your handwriting or somebody's handwriting.
Well, then they never signed it.
Well, neither did whoever owns the property.
Right.
Who owns the fifth wheel?
My buddy.
But you. Okay, well, then how does your mother-in-law have the authority to rent out the fifth wheel?
Because what had happened is
For rent to own.
my buddy gave me the fifth wheel, said, take it. I'm done with it. They couldn't find the title. I said, okay, I've got a tenant that wants to move in or a couple that wants to move into this. Did it 36 months, $1,000 a month, however you want to break it down. And so that would give a time to file for the lost title or whatever needed to be done. 36 months. We should have been able to get a title. It's paid for. So
Isn't it your trailer or your fifth wheel?
Well, he gave it to me, but it's not legally mine yet because we don't have the paperwork.
So how do you have any authority to enter this in agreement and also turn the water off and tell them they can't come back to the property and park in front of the fifth wheel? That I'm just struggling to understand your involvement in all of this. If you're not the owner of the property, the owner of the fifth wheel.
Well, he's the owner of the fifth wheel when it's convenient for him. And he's the owner of the property when it's convenient for him. Now, legally, he's neither. But when it would benefit him and make him feel like he's a man of importance, that's when he is what he claims to be, even though he's not.
And I don't see any authorization for you to do that.
Okay.
I'm asking you.
I don't know.
Okay. So they just randomly decided to just stop renting the fifth wheel. I guess in your understanding, what kind of was the breakdown?
The breakdown was they just started moving out.
That's okay.
That was the breakdown. So now they want all this money for moving out. If I don't have the authority to evict them, like you're stating, why did they move out?
Well, they're saying they didn't move out.
They did.
They were forced to move out.
They took truckloads and truckloads out of there, and then they threatened me.
Oh, I don't buy that part for a minute. I believe they took truckloads and truckloads of stuff out of there. But that doesn't mean they moved out. I can take truckloads and truckloads of stuff out of here. Doesn't mean I moved out. I could just be relocating my crap. You don't know what they were doing. You have such a hot temper. You completely jumped to conclusions, pitched a fit, drove them out. Yeah, you didn't legally evict them, but you drove them away. I can only imagine what it was like dealing with you on the daily, and I wouldn't have made it 14 or 15 months.
To ruin the trailer. That's why there was a vehicle parked there. That's why the water was.
But you said that was a neighbor said that they were going to flood the trailer, not them.
The neighbor told me that, and also they did too. The neighbor wrote a letter for you.
I read.
Okay.
The problem is you're kind of giving me conflicting information right now.
Well, it's hard to remember every little thing
Sure.
when you got 4 trailers up there.
I understand. So it's your testimony today that I guess you're saying they moved out, so therefore the contract was just done?
Yes, the contract was done. They were to receive a title on the 36th month. They moved out. Sorry, I don't know what else to say.
Okay, but the text messages show that it's not just them moving out.
Okay, what does it show?
You're involved with these text messages. I'm asking you I'm asking you what.
Yeah, I said
A lot of this is.
I said some things that I probably shouldn't have said, but I was pissed off.
I can see that.
But they didn't. I didn't tell them that. I didn't make them move out. They were already moving out. They had already took truckloads off the property.
Because it sounded like it was becoming kind of a. Let's see. And they paid through July. Is that accurate?
I'd have to look, but I think that's pretty darn accurate. It was 14 or 15 months, ma'am, that they made it.
So, but they paid through July, but you locked them out of, and you didn't allow them to take the fifth wheel off the trailer through the month of July.
Didn't allow them to what?
Take the fifth wheel off the property?
Yeah, it was never allowed to go off the property until
But you didn't allow
36th.
them to come to it either because you were worried that they were going to flood the trailer based off what your neighbor said.
Yes, but that doesn't mean that they couldn't have came to it. That's why they were taking
But
truckloads up.
you locked the water. How are they supposed to return to that if you've locked the water? And they said that you turned off the power as well.
No,
How
I
are they
did not.
supposed, regardless, how are they
Yeah.
supposed to come back with no water? That's not a habitable living environment, and you would be in a lot more trouble if that were the case.
Okay.
So for this month of July, this month of July, they paid the full month of July. And you basically shut off the water, locked them out of you parked the truck in front of the fifth wheel so they couldn't take it off in the middle of July. So they could not benefit from the enjoyment of the property they had paid for.
Right. Yep.
So you're not disputing this $150 for the rent of July?
No.
Okay. So it's your understanding that they just moved out. There was no, they didn't have any issues or anything they brought to your attention?
No, the issues were starting to rise. And when I put my foot down that it's not going to happen like that on my mother-in-law's property, then they started.
What's not going to happen like what?
What's not going to happen? Him cruising down the driveway at 30 miles an hour and almost hitting little kids. Drugs being on the property. That's not going to happen.
Okay.
So that's the way it, I'm sorry, but that's not.
I have no evidence to support that except for your testimony, so that's fine. But that is not in the lease agreement, that in the rental agreement that you have, there's nothing indicating.
Well, the rental
that's a
agreement.
basis for termination. But you're the one acting in authority for your mother-in-law. You are the one that is clearly discussing and communicating with these tenants. And I'm guessing with the other tenants that are in the fifth wheels on that property as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you are acting on authority of your mother-in-law.
Yep.
Okay, so you do have authority to evict people or turn water off or do any other things that were requested by a tenant?
With the proper documentation.
What do you mean proper documentation?
Well, if you do an eviction, you serve them papers.
Correct. And if you cut off water, isn't that a constructive eviction?
No.
How so?
Because I'm not going to have a trailer ruined.
But you don't know this.
Okay.
You're talking about something that I'm just asking. You shut off the water. Shutting off water makes a living situation uninhabitable.
Okay.
No, that's accurate.
Do what you want to do.
Okay. Well, if you have nothing further to say, then I will turn the attention back to Mr. Sims and Ms. Weicker. Can you please mute yourself, Mr. Murray? All right.
All right. I'm unmuted.
Mr. Murray, this is a courtroom. Please do not smoke while you're in court.
Oh.
You're really close to being held in contempt at this point, Mr. Murray. Please have more respect for the court of law. Okay. Mr. Sims
So,
and Ms.
Your Honor,
Weicker. Okay,
just a couple things.
please.
Go
I may interrupt you for questions, but please go ahead.
That's fine. If you turn to page 10, this will give you the reason that I told him of why we were moving out. So due to the issues here with you and the neighbors, we are leaving by August 1st. That was the hostility, the harassment, so on and so forth. So I told him that we were moving, on August 1st. I said, if I'm taking this trailer, it would need plates and registrations to be legal to tow. So I was trying to stay within my contract and keep it. I was trying to figure out in that same text there of how to make the payments to him so we can stay in contract. And he wants me to call him. And I said, given how the last couple conversations went, I think it's best we keep the communications in text or writing, just because of the way the conversations were going. Later on down the page 10, he said, like I said, $1,000, 36 a month, 15 full deposit paid. So on the first, why don't you just take the trailer or hook onto the trailer with the fifth wheel truck and we are even. I will get you paperwork for the trailer. You owe me nothing. I owe you nothing. And that's what I was trying to call about.
Oh, well, sounds like a good deal. That would solve everything. Why didn't that happen?
And I said, so August 1st, you keep security deposit and I take trailer and you sign it over to me? He said, absolutely. And then later on, that story changed.
Okay.
He
So
says
is your
that
understanding, you guys had a modified agreement to the rental agreement, since you weren't going to be maintaining that space for $750 a month, but you still wanted to make the payments. And then it looks like you guys had come to some sort of alternate arrangement to take that fifth wheel. That eventually changed, right? But this on August 1st, that was your understanding?
correct.
Okay.
And it was so sporadic, trying to figure out what to do. But as far as the drugs go, Your Honor, I don't do drugs. I spent 15 years doing law enforcement work. I do not do drugs at all.
That's
so that's
not in
just,
question. I'm not considering
okay.
that, just for
Sorry,
you.
it hurts
I
my heart
understand.
to hear that. And then later on, here on page, what was that, 18, 19?
Can I just say that any man that says it hurts my heart, for one, they're a daddy or been a daddy to girls. And for two, that is just like one of the sweetest lines ever.
18, so you're looking for right here.
Okay. So to answer your question, you asked him earlier, page 18, those texts, we'll answer some of those questions. That was text messages between Dean and Christy. Christy said you put Gail in charge and you left everything up to her. Gail is his mother-in-law. He said he didn't leave Gail in charge of anything except to collect rent. That's why I'm on all bank accounts and I have full power of attorney and also have a quick claim to the house she lives in. So that tells me that he's the acting landlord and he's the acting property owner, basically, at that point.
And that was your understanding?
That was my understanding. I knew that was his mother-in-law's house, but my understanding was he was running the show there and he was doing everything there. I was also under the understanding that was his trailer that he was selling me.
So you thought he had made it, he told you that was his trailer to sell to you. Okay.
Yes, he bought it from an auction is what he specifically told me.
Okay. And then this rental agreement that you entered, it's hard for you to tell, but is this what it looked like to you guys with all of these handwritten and highlights and color? Okay. I just wanted to verify. And is this is somebody one of your handwritings?
That's yours.
That's my handwriting.
Okay, so this is your handwriting that you filled in towards, this is that you're just saying you acknowledge you received this. Okay.
Correct.
And then, who did you sign this agreement with? Was it with Mr. Murray
It
or
was
was
with,
this mother?
was it with both?
They were both there.
They were
Both there?
both present
Okay.
at the time.
And he is holding himself out to be either the landlord or operating on behalf of the landlord. Is that?
Correct.
And then he presented it to you that he was the owner of the fifth wheel.
Correct. And
Okay.
he also was the actor as well that showed up for L&I for my L&I complaint on the property. He's the one that dealt with all of that as well. And you can
Okay.
see some messages there between landlord, between L&I. and
Right.
myself.
Okay.
You can see here on page 18 as well, where he says, next issue I have from either of you, off with the breaker and water, not ducking around anymore. Either take trailer on first and leave peacefully, or I will keep trailer and sue the F out of both of you guys. Decide and let me know.
Okay. And that
Off with the breaker. Oh. Well, that sounds like electricity. The electricity that he said that he didn't have the ability to shut off.
was on, do we know what date that was on?
Oh, she's still got it in her phone real quick. She'll
Okay.
pull it up.
That's fine. I'm just trying to see if it's kind of in association with, let's see, where did 19 go? There it is. 18, 17.
Yeah, I mean, we were threatened multiple times with getting the power and the electricity and everything else shut down.
Wednesday, July 16th.
Wednesday, July 16th is when that statement was made.
And this is when you guys had fully paid the July rent.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just making sure I have everything that I want
Yes, ma'am.
asked before make a ruling. And so you're basically seeking the money that you paid for that you put into the trailer plus the security deposit and the parts that you did. This caulking that Mr. Murray had mentioned, he said that he bought it from Amazon and gave it to you. Is that?
No, that's when I resealed his trailer. He bought the caulking off Amazon, and I resealed his trailer. His
Yes,
other
sir.
trailer is at his house. This is stuff that I purchased from my job.
Okay. Because you intended to, okay. Well, it doesn't sound like the rent in July is, in dispute at all. Even Mr. Murray indicates that that's accurate. He's not disputing that. I guess I have a question for Mr. Murray before I make my ruling.
Would you like me to mute?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Murray. So looking at the exhibits, you do threaten to cut off water and electricity. Is that
Yep.
accurate?
Yep.
And you actually did cut off water.
Water, not electricity.
Okay. Do you see how a tenant or somebody that you are, acting as a landlord to somebody, how that somebody could take that as like, you're going to cut off electricity and the water. I can't live in this place anymore.
Yeah, but they already started to move out, so that's why I did
But
that.
they paid through the full month of July.
Okay. That's
So
fine.
but they paid through the full month of July, aren't they entitled to the enjoyment of that through the full month of July?
Well, probably. It's just I was a little bit worried about ruining the trailer, so that's what was going through my brain. So yeah,
But that's not a legal basis to.
Okay. Well, nothing's legal about this though. The rental agreement's not legal. It's not notarized. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, if I need to pay for July, then I'll pay for July. But I shouldn't have to pay for something that, number one, couldn't be taken off the property until the 36th month. Number two is, I don't know. I never authorized any of these repairs. So do you just buy a used vehicle and the guy has to repair it the whole time that you're making payments on it? I mean, that don't even make sense.
So what is your position when they brought up the fact that you said, like I said, I took 100,000 or 1,000 times 36. You are on month 15 with a full deposit paid. So on the first, why don't you hook onto trailer with a fifth wheel truck and we are even. I will get you paperwork for trailer. You owe me nothing. I owe you nothing. That's what I was trying to call about.
Because I was gonna try to work with them until they started giving me a bunch of grief. And I
But then-
called the attorney and he said, absolutely not. He said, Dean, they moved out on their own.
But then,
That's what
but the problem is you have a writing in the text message
Okay,
that does modify the agreement, right? So
Right, and
he
it's-
says, so August 1st, you keep security deposit and I take trailer and you sign title over to me. And you said, absolutely. I think that is fair. I was actually talking to Gail about that the other day. So you
What's
thought
that?
that was a fair resolution. So it seems like you guys had come to an agreement that they would move out August 1st. They had paid through the full month of July.
Yep.
And then you changed your mind because you thought they were going to damage the trailer that you said that you agreed that they could take on August 1st.
I changed my mind because of them threatening me when I was up there. So that regardless,
No, not regardless. This is the agreement that you had.
okay,
Okay.
What-
All right.
what-
I'll make my ruling.
yeah.
1 moment while I get my paperwork together.
It's not even in my name, so I don't know how you could do that.
Well, you were certainly acting with authority to do so. As you yourself had indicated in the text messages you sent, stating, let's see, did not leave Gail in charge of anything except collect rent. That's why I am on all bank accounts and I have full power of attorney and also have a quit claim to the house she lives in.
Okay.
So
That
as,
doesn't have anything to do with the rental agreement. I didn't write the rental agreement or the
but you are
contract.
acting, but you have also testified under oath that you have authority to act upon on behalf of your mother-in-law as the property owner, and you hold yourself out to be managing the property, working with all these tenants the whole time.
Yeah, but I didn't put the terms in the rental agreement. That's not my handwriting.
Okay.
That's some cartoonist handwriting. I
What-
mean, look at it. It's an
okay.
80-year-old woman that drew it up.
Regardless, you are holding yourself out to be authorized to act
Okay.
upon it. You are texting the tenant saying you have authorization to do all of these things, and then
Okay.
are threatening them to cut off water. So
Can we
yes,
put, oh, sorry.
you are holding yourself out to be that.
Can we please just make the ruling?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. Firstly, I'm accepting all the exhibits in the file, so it's available upon appeal. In the small claims, Christopher Sims versus Christy Weicker, or Christopher Sims and Christy Weicker versus Dean Murray. We had an open court pursuant to a trial. Looking through the claim, I'm gonna have to get a calculator out for this one. So to start off with the easy one that's not in dispute, I am awarding the plaintiff $105 for the partial payment in the month of July. That is no dispute whatsoever. You had fully paid, and then Mr. Murray had basically cut off ability to enjoy the property at that point. So that shall be granted. I am going to grant the plaintiffs the entirety of their claim. To break it down, the sale and deposit was $4,750. So that would be $250 a month times 15 months, which is $3,750 plus the $1,000 security deposit, totaling that amount. I find that Mr. Murray was acting with authority for his mother-in-law. He was holding himself out. In fact, in his statement from the defendant here, it says, so I run a small RV park for my mother-in-law. I have decided to rent to Chris and Christy. So he is acting as a landlord, and I will be holding him as such, at least having the authorization to act as a landlord. So with the sale and deposit, it does appear through text messages, exhibits 10 and 18 provided by the plaintiffs, that they had come to an alternative resolution to where they had indicated that they had paid the full month of July. They were intending to move out August 1st, and they were wanting to come up with a potential plan to pay off the rest of the fifth wheel. And you agreed that they had paid in full and called it fair and they could take it on the first of the month. You changed your mind because of other things that came up and you're concerned about them flooding the trailer, but I'm not lending any credence to that at this point. I find that the cutting off of water and the threats that were made by Mr. Murray to the plaintiffs, and Mr. Murray, just for the record, is off camera while I'm giving my ruling, so we'll continue to do so. There he is. All right, so with that, I also find that the plaintiffs, specifically Mr. Sims, had bought parts to fix up the fifth wheel. Because this was a rent to own, it makes sense. And even Mr. Murray said that it makes sense for them to fix it on their own behalf, right? So I am going to award the entirety of the amount to the plaintiffs. So that will be a total of $6,455.00. For the principal amount,
I'm sorry YouTube cut it off, but we already know that the plaintiffs got everything they asked for. And I am so thrilled to have heard that.
Austin Eugene Bland. It's case number 2025 CR 163. Jared Regier appears for the state of Kansas. Joseph Favre is defense counsel. Defendant Bland appearing from the jail Zoom location. This matter comes before the court at this time for arraignment. Mr. Favre, does your client desire the charging document to be read to him?
Judge, he would waive a formal reading at this time.
All right. What plea is being entered?
Judge, Mr. Bland has already executed a written plea agreement that we forwarded to the county attorney's office. Don't know if Mr. Sweeney forwarded that to Mr. Regier or not, but it's a fairly simple plea. He's pleading to count 1, a possession of controlled substance. State is dismissing count 2. It's a no contest plea, Judge.
So he's pleading as charged in count 1, possession of parafluorofentanyl.
That's correct.
All right, I know that I directed that a written plea agreement be prepared. I think there was some hesitation on Mr. Bland's part earlier. Do you have this written plea agreement, Mr. Regier?
I am in receipt, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I'm not. Are there sentencing recommendations contained in this agreement?
Judge, it's just a pretty.
And I
Sorry,
can,
Jared, go ahead.
and I can proffer for the court if the court wishes.
Please do.
Your Honor, state's understanding is at the time of sentencing, the parties will be jointly recommending the presumptive mid-box sentence for count 1. The state understands that there is an anticipation that this is a defendant who will be border box and screened for Senate Bill 123. Parties will mutually be recommending that the sentence imposed run concurrent to any other cases as allowed by law, that the defendant will be paying court costs, and the court will not be asking that, and the state rather will not be asking for a fine to be imposed. Additionally, as part of this plea agreement, the defendant agrees not to file a motion for departure.
Is that all correct, Mr. Favre?
That is accurate.
Very well. Mr. Bland, it's my understanding that you're going to resolve this case by entering a no contest plea to count 1 at this time. Is that your intention?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have a number of questions I need to ask you about this. If there's anything you don't understand, I'll give you the opportunity to confer privately with your lawyer if you need further advice along the way. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
State your full legal name for the record.
Austin Eugene Bland,
How old are you right now?
28.
What's the highest level of education that you've attained?
I didn't graduate junior high. No, junior in high school. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you believe you're going to have difficulty understanding any of the legal concepts we're going to be discussing in court here today?
No, Your Honor.
Have you ever been adjudged to be mentally ill?
No, Your Honor.
Are you currently under the influence of alcohol or any drug?
No, Your Honor.
Are you currently taking any type of prescription medication?
No, Your Honor.
Are you supposed to be taking mental health meds that you are not currently taking?
No, Your Honor.
So do you believe today your mind is clear and that you have a full understanding of what's going on here in court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you understand the nature of the charge in count one, which is possession of a controlled substance, parafluorofentanyl?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You understand that when you enter a plea of no contest, you are not necessarily admitting that you did this act, but you're also not contesting that you be convicted just the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand, Mr. Bland, that when you enter a plea of no contest, you give up any legal defenses that you might have had to that charge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you aware that in a trial, the state must present evidence against you in open court, that any witnesses must testify in open court in your presence, that you have the right to cross-examine witnesses with the assistance of your lawyer, Mr. Favre, and that at a trial, you could present evidence on your own behalf and subpoena your own witnesses to court?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that at such a trial, you would have a privilege against self-incrimination, which means that if you wanted to testify in your case, you could, at your choice, but no one could force you or compel you to testify against yourself if you didn't want to. Do you understand that, Mr. Bland?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that when you enter a plea of no contest, you give up these valuable trial rights that the court has described.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you also aware that you have a right to a trial by jury, and that before you could be found guilty, that jury would have to be satisfied as to your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that when you enter a plea of no contest, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury and the requirement that you be found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to appeal a guilty verdict if you have a trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
You further understand that you may appeal your sentence after entering a plea of no contest, but generally you may not appeal your judgment of conviction after you enter such a plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
I just noticed for the first time ever that Jay Regier has a pretty significant scar on his head. It goes from his hairline back. And his haircut is buzzed right now. So it's much more noticeable. It's where he typically parts his hair, but it is no part. It actually looks like he had a traumatic head injury at some point.
Mr. Bland, are you aware of the possible penalties that could be imposed as a result of this no contest plea that you're attempting to make?
Yes, Your Honor.
First of all, this would be a level 5 drug felony under the Kansas Sentencing Guidelines Act drug grid. In the most favorable criminal history category of I, you could receive as little as a 10-month prison sentence. In the worst criminal history category of A, you could receive up to a 42-month prison sentence. So the sentencing range is 10 to 42 months in prison, depending on your criminal history. As you participate today, Mr. Bland, we do not know with certainty what your criminal history is. You, better than anyone else here, should really know what your own criminal record looks like. But
Yes,
that
sir.
would be researched by the Court Services Department. And based on the outcome of their research as of the date of sentencing, that determines where you fall along the level 5 line, and then you'll be sentenced accordingly. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that if sentencing, it turns out that you have a person felony on your record already, that you would be presumptive prison.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you kind of hesitated on me, Mr.
I
Bland.
was thinking, but no, I guess, Your Honor.
Okay. Person felonies are crimes against persons. If you have one of those felonies on your record already at sentencing, you'll be presumptive prison here. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that Senate Bill 123 is a state-sponsored treatment program that you may or may not qualify for. If you do qualify for it, though, do you understand that you would be ordered into drug treatment for up to 18 months as part of an up to 18 months community corrections probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that you could receive up to a $100,000 fine for this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
In addition to any fine, are you aware that you could be assessed and be required to pay court costs, certain fees, including reimbursement of legal fees and expenses, and restitution of victims, if any are owed, as part of your sentencing orders?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that as a direct consequence of this plea, you will be sentenced to an extended period of reporting probation, reporting parole, or post-release supervision, which is your state parole time that you do after you get out of prison, as deemed appropriate by the court at the time of sentencing.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that both probationary and post-release supervision terms generally start at 12 months in duration, but can run up to 60 months under some circumstances.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that the Kansas Sentencing Guidelines Act contains special rules. You understand that if any special rules apply to you and your situation, it could affect your eligibility for probation or otherwise affect your sentence.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have an ample opportunity to discuss legal matters like that with your attorney, Mr. Favre, before proceeding here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Want any more time with him privately now before we go further?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the services and advice given to you by Joseph Favre?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, this no contest plea that you're attempting to make, has it been based upon any threat or promises as to what this court will do in regards to your sentence or any other type of threat or promise?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything that's a significant part of this plea agreement that you believe hasn't been accurately discussed on the record already?
No, Your Honor.
You understand that if there are any plea deals between your counsel and the county attorney's office regarding sentencing recommendations, that this court is not bound by any agreements made. The court may and shall consider them as recommendations, but is not bound by them. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
So how do you plead to the charge in count one of the information, possession of a controlled substance?
No contest, Your Honor.
All right. We'll ask the state to provide a concise statement of factual basis.
Yes, Your Honor. Were this case to proceed to trial, the state's evidence would show that, as stated in the charging language, that on or about the 6th day of August 2024 in Butler County, Kansas, the defendant did unlawfully possess an opiate, opium or narcotic drug, or controlled substance analog to their, to wit, parafluorofentanyl, in violation of KSA 215706. Additionally, pursuant to page 1 and 2 of the affidavit, law enforcement did retrieve at least one baggie containing an unknown crystal-like substance. After being Mirandized, law enforcement did question the defendant. The defendant did admit that the baggie was his, along with later admitting that the substance contained therein was fentanyl. Additionally, the items were sent off to be tested by the affiant, and specifically through the Kansas Bureau of Investigation, which did show that the substance tested positive for parafluorofentanyl with a weight of 0.05 grams.
Where in Butler County was this, Mr. Regier?
Your Honor, the state's information is that initially the property was retrieved at the Andover Police Station, which the state understands to be located in Butler County, adjacent to Andover Road.
Very well, thank you. That would be sufficient. So, Mr. Bland, are you making a plea of no contest and accepting conviction for count one freely, knowingly, and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Favre, do you know of any legal reason why the court shouldn't accept your client's plea?
I do not.
Mr. Regier, are you aware of any such legal reason?
No, Your Honor.
Austin Bland, are you aware of a legal reason or any other good reason why the court shouldn't accept your plea here today?
No, Your Honor.
Court will accept the no contest plea made by the defendant and finds that that plea is made voluntarily. He has an understanding of the nature of the charge against him and the consequences of the plea, and a factual basis for the charge does exist. The court finds the defendant guilty, accepts his plea. The judges him convicted of possession of parafluorofentanyl, a level 5 drug felony. Count 2 is dismissed pursuant to plea agreement. The court orders a pre-sentence report be completed to accurately determine the defendant's criminal history, and the court will set an appropriate date for sentencing. Mandy, can you suggest a sentencing date in the very tail end of March or early April?
Maybe March 28th or 27th, I'm sorry.
What time?
That day is open all day. That would be the last day of our jury trial. Or a jury trial week.
Okay.
Would you
Well,
want
this
it
will be
there or would
Friday.
you want it on March 30th?
Mr. Favre?
27th is pretty busy. It would have to be late, like 4 o'clock for me. The next week I'm completely open on the 31st or the 1st. Or if we want to do it the 30th, I can squeeze some time in the morning.
The 31st is open all day.
Okay.
What do we want to set it at 9 a.m.?
9 a.m. is fine.
Okay.
March 31, 9 o'clock a.m. for sentencing in the case. Defendant is ordered to comply with any pre-sentence assessments, risk needs assessment, substance abuse assessment that may be necessary. It's in your best interest to do so, Mr. Bland. Mr. Regier, is there anything else that we need to address currently?
From the state's perspective, Your Honor.
Mr. Favre?
Yes, Judge, we would like to address the issue of the bond in this matter. Mr. Bland is currently sitting, I think, on a no bond hold. We had asked the court at the last hearing to address the bond. Court set that over to today. Mr. Bland, for purposes of information, the court does have, we think, one prior felony. It was from 8 years ago. It was a residential burglary. That's what makes him a D box, border box. But he has no other felony convictions, so he will be likely Senate Bill 123 and border box, we think. He does have an address in Wichita. He lives with his family at 741 South Lulu, Wichita 67211. He's currently unemployed, although he is looking for work. So we'd ask the court to consider allowing him to have a much lower cash or surety bond in this matter. We'd request somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,500.
You realize, Mr. Favre, that your client has not one but two previous failures to appear in this case?
Yeah, I missed that he had two, Judge. I apologize.
Mr. Regier, what's the state's position here?
Your Honor, the state would have concerns with the court modifying its prior orders concerning bond. In addition to prior deference to district judges' lawful orders, the state understands that prior to this case commencing, this is a defendant who had at least 3 prior failures to appear, most recently in 2023. And so the state would have concerns with any modification of bond given the history of failing to appear for court so far as this defendant is concerned.
Mr. Bland, first, I would just state you handled yourself very well today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Very respectful. You obviously were on top of things. My concern is the fact that you've got a track record for non-appearance. I wish it weren't that way. I'd rather see you in the community taking care of this stuff rather than being in jail taking care of it. But you do have 2 assessments you're likely going to be required to do, at least in the jail. I know they can get done. And there's not going to be a problem with getting you to court for sentencing in the case.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
The only reason I didn't show up for court is because I was trying to figure out the Zoom thing and I couldn't really figure it out. And I tried contacting my lawyer on October, I think it was October 6th or 8th. And I was trying to figure it out, but I downloaded the app, but I wasn't able to get into an actual room to see anybody. But that's the only reason I wasn't able to actually go through with the court. It wasn't because I was trying to run from the situation or not come to court. I just couldn't figure it out.
Did you forget how to use a telephone as well? You couldn't have called the court? And for how long after you couldn't figure it out did you stay not figuring it out? Not bothering, not attempting. It sounds like you were trying to run from it, sir.
Did you have a bondsman
Technical
before?
difficulties.
Did you have a bondsman before?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't remember his name though.
Quinn Duncan.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll reestablish a new bond. Now, this is a separate, distinct bond from anything before. I'd like to give Mr. Bland a chance. I'm going to set his bond at $3,000 cash or professional surety required, with a specific requirement that he fully comply with all pre-sentence assessments and contact court services immediately upon being released on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So it's a new bond is set at 3,000, cash or professional surety required. But you got to take care of those assessments, because if you don't, Mr. Bland, I'm going to hold you accountable on the sentencing date if we don't have the pre-sentence report done because of you.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand.
All right, I'm going to give you a chance, Austin. If you're able to make that bond, I hope you take advantage of that. I will order you to appear at the Butler County Judicial Center in El Dorado. It's not too far from where you are now. You're at the jail. Back into town, there is the Judicial Center. Have you appeared there before?
I think I've driven past it a few times. I know where it's at. I know where it's located.
Well, that's where you have to be for sentencing and no other place if you make
Okay.
bond, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Anything else, counsel?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
All right. But if there's nothing further, at this time, the Austin Eugene Bland matter will currently be in recess, and this meeting may be ended for all at this time. State of Kansas versus Austin Eugene Bland.
It looks like he didn't make bond.
Case number 2025 CR 163. Amber Norris appears for the state of Kansas. Joseph Favre is defense counsel. Defendant Bland appears from the Butler County Detention Center's Zoom location. This matter comes before the court at this time for sentencing. The court's docket notes indicating that the defendant appeared before this court on February 6th of 2026. At that time, he entered a no contest plea to possession of a controlled substance in count 1. A pre-sentence report was ordered and sentencing set for today. Court has received a completed pre-sentence investigation report compiled by Jessica Morgan, pre-sentence investigator, who is present on this meeting with us. I trust the attorneys have received a copy of this report, and I'll ask the state's attorney first. Is there any objection to the criminal history which is stated in this report?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection by the defense, Mr. Favre?
Judge, I've reviewed that with Mr. Bland. We have no objection.
Court will adopt the criminal history as stated in the report and finds that the criminal history score applicable to today's sentencing is criminal history score D, and the court will proceed further accordingly. Ms. Norris, are you aware of any legal reason why sentence should not be pronounced in the Bland case this morning?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Favre, are you aware of any such legal reason?
I'm not.
Mr. Bland, are you aware of a legal reason or any other good reason why the court shouldn't proceed further with your sentencing here today?
No, Your Honor.
Court proceed further then. I'm not aware, counsel, if there's been a motion for a departure sentence or any other sentencing related motions to take up. Does the state have any such motions to pursue?
No, Your Honor.
Does the defense, Mr. Favre?
No, Judge.
Are there any victims and members of a victim's family present who desires to address the court in relation to the Bland sentencing? Court finds no such persons present, so at this time, the court will ask for recommendations from counsel regarding an appropriate sentence for Mr. Bland, beginning with Amber Norris on behalf of the state of Kansas.
Thank you, Your Honor. Regarding count 1, the possession of opiates, defendant falls border box, but based on testing, he is mandatory SB 123 eligible. So we would ask the court assign him to up to 18 months of community corrections probation. If the defendant was to go to prison, he requests 24 months in DOC, 20% good time credit, and 12 months post-release if necessary. He has earned 93 days of jail time credit. Ask the court assess the costs and fees of the action to the defendant. SB 123 repayment of $300. State's not requesting a fine. There is $400 in KBI lab fees. Court will need to address court-appointed attorney's fees and the bid's application fee as Mr. Favre is appointed. Your Honor, standard and PSI recommended probation conditions. Obviously, most important is for defendant to complete the SB 123 treatment. Don't believe I have any further recommendations for the court at this time.
Very well. Mr. Favre, your recommendations regarding an appropriate sentence?
Yes, Judge, we think that those recommendations made by Ms. Norris are appropriate. Ask the court to follow the recommendations, place him on Senate Bill 123 probation, and allow him to begin that treatment program. He's been in custody for the last, I think, 84 days. And we'd ask the court to consider waiving his attorney's fees, application fee because of that. He is currently unemployed. He's hoping to get employment at a auto detailing shop, but he doesn't have an offer there yet. Also, Judge, he's planning on moving to Wichita, Kansas, or residing in Wichita, Kansas. And so we asked the court to allow him to be supervised there through community corrections, either through a local community corrections officer or by transferring it to Sedgwick County, whichever the community corrections office feels is appropriate. No other recommendations.
Does your client have other holds on him at this time, Mr. Favre?
He tells me he does not.
All right. Thank you. At this time, the court will address the defendant, Austin Eugene Bland, personally and ask him if he has any statements that he wishes to make in mitigation of punishment or anything further that he would like to present to the court. Mr. Bland?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Court will pronounce sentence in the case at this time. Court hereby establishes count 1 as the base sentence in the case for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, a severity level 5, drug, non-person felony, in which the defendant has a criminal history score of D, thus placing him in grid box 5, drug D. The court hereby sentences this defendant to a term of 24 months in the custody of the Secretary of Corrections, the state of Kansas. On this sentence, the defendant may earn up to 20% of good time credit and would be subject to 12 months of post-release supervision. No fine is imposed on that count. Court does find that even though this is a border box case, the combination of the SASE indicating that the defendant has a high probability of a substance abuse disorder, in addition to having a high risk score on his assessment, the court finds that this is a mandatory case for Senate Bill 123. The court orders the defendant on community corrections probation and to complete treatment programs for a period of up to 18 months. Conditions of that probation will include reporting to an officer as directed, observing all laws, obtaining an approved alcohol and drug evaluation, and abiding by the recommendations. He shall not possess or consume alcohol or illegal drugs while on probation. At his supervising officer's request and at his own expense, submit to random breath, blood, and urinalysis testing, perform any community service work pursuant to any program requirements, gain and maintain employment throughout his probationary term. And Mr. Bland, it has to be above the table, no under the table work for you. You have to have a regular paycheck with withholdings.
Yes, Your Honor.
You must notify your supervising officer of any changes in employment status, residence, telephone number, or email address within 24 hours of any such change taking place. Abide by any curfew or travel restrictions imposed by your officer. You must follow any requirements of Senate Bill 123's treatment program and complete all aftercare. Avoid disreputable characters and places, which would include, Mr. Bland, places anywhere you can get drugs, people, anyone who does drugs. Pretty
Yes, Your
simple,
Honor.
except in the treatment setting. Obviously, the treatment setting's an exception. You're not to have in your possession firearms or dangerous weapons. Follow standard conditions of probation and make monthly payments on your obligations in a manner acceptable to the court. You will be assessed a felony docket fee, felony probation fee, a community corrections fee, $400 to the KBI laboratory, $300 reimbursement to the Senate Bill 123 program. Mr. Bland, I'm going to expect you to make a $100 a month payment. We'll start that in April and every subsequent month until your case is paid in full.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hope you can find that job relatively quickly. The court considers transfer of the probation and administrative matter to be handled by community corrections. If that sets Mr. Bland up for success, the court certainly encourages community corrections to make that courtesy transfer to another county. The defendant has 93 days of jail time credit. The court is of the belief, Mr. Bland, that you certainly merited jail time in this case. But I think if there is a lesson that's been learned by serving time in jail, you've learned it by now, I would hope.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm glad you agree with me. I'm going to order you released today on this case, this hold. Obviously, if you have other holds, I'm not releasing you from those, but I am releasing you on this case today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I'm going to take some direction here from the Community Corrections Officer, Christy Ashenfelter, who's on this meeting. Ms. Ashenfelter, what direction do you give Mr. Bland?
Your Honor, if I might be able to get a brief breakout room, I can go over those conditions with him.
All right, we can accommodate that. So, Mr. Bland, after we recess the court proceeding, stay on the Zoom meeting so that the Community Corrections Officer can give you some direction, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. At some point in the future, Mr. Bland, you may have the right to seek expungement of this offense. Certain statutory limitations do apply. If you have any questions about your right to someday seek expungement, you can address those questions to a lawyer and I'm sure get your questions answered. Under some circumstances, a criminal defendant in Kansas has the right to appeal a conviction to an appellate court having jurisdiction, and if they are unable to pay the cost of an appeal, the defendant may request the court to appoint a lawyer to represent them on appeal and that they be supplied with a transcript of trial court proceedings. Pursuant to KSA 223608C, you, the defendant, have 14 days after this judgment in court to file any notice of appeal with the clerk of the District Court of Butler County, Kansas. You do have the right to appeal this sentence if the court has ruled adversely to you at this hearing. I will remind you, Mr. Bland, that there are prohibitions against a convicted felon possessing a firearm, and that there are losses of certain civil rights, such as the right to vote, until your sentence is fully discharged. Mr. Bland, don't forget for a moment that the focal point of your probation is treatment-oriented.
Yes,
So
Your Honor.
all of your probation conditions are important. If you don't comply with the treatment provisions under your probation, you're basically volunteering to go to prison.
Yes, Your Honor.
I hope that you're truly motivated to successfully participate in treatment program and any aftercare so you don't get involved with drugs ever again.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good luck in that regard, Mr. Bland. I hope you make it.
Thank you.
All right. Looking at my notes from the sentencing, Ms. Norris, I think implicit in the court's orders regarding costs that I'm waiving bids in this case. He's had a long period of incarceration. I don't think he's got the financial resources to pay those. So I'm going to waive all bids amounts. But with that stated now, Ms. Norris, anything else that you can think of?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Mr. Favre, are you aware of anything that the court still needs to rule upon?
I'm not, Judge. Thank you.
Ms.
Judge, I have a
Ashenfelter?
question.
Okay.
Did you waive attorney fees in all bids?
Yes. Yes. Ms. Ashenfelter, do you have any questions or need clarification on the court's orders?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Bland, let me ask you, do you have any questions about what we've done here today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Again, at this time, I'm going to recess court proceedings, but leave the meeting open so that Ms. Ashenfelter can confer with Mr. Bland.
First, Mr. Park.
I found him very respectful, and I really do hope that, well, for one, I hope he uses his time in jail to get his GED or HSED and to do things that will better his life when he does get out. He seems like a decent enough guy. He got wrapped up in a drug that is super addictive. It's hard not to get hooked on it. So it's his fault for starting it. But once he did it once, then all bets were off. And this section, we're going to see the remaining cases that didn't go last night. And then we'll jump into a couple more new things.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Park, I didn't order very much community service due per month. Have you gotten any of it done?
I haven't got none of it done at all.
Why not?
I haven't had a rider like called up there at all or like talked to any of them about it or anything.
Well, I think, did I see you in January? Is that when we talked about it?
Yeah, it was somewhere around that time.
So I'm looking to see I saw you in January, so by now you should have done more than half of it. And you didn't even call the people or try?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so do you want to just pay it?
How much would it be to pay?
Well, the total payment is $648.
$648.
That's why I gave you community service.
I mean, I couldn't make that decision on my own. I had to talk to my mom about that, so probably not really.
Okay, so I don't know what we need to do. And then you remember I suspended your license because of that minor in possession of alcohol or your ability to get a license. And then you
Yes.
had 90 days to do the alcohol class and 8 hours of alcohol related community service. All of that's due by April 26th. And I
Yes.
can't change that date because that's a hard deadline because the law says that that's when it's due.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what day do you think you can come down in person so we can get all the paperwork done for either a payment plan or a
Probably
job
one of
search?
the days my mom is off. She's off on like Wednesdays and I think Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave it with the same orders for community service as I have. It's 33 hours, 11 a month.
Mhm.
But because you're behind, you have to get your mom to bring you down here. And whatever day off at 11 or 2.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
sooner the better, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
So my orders just say to appear in person at the soonest possible date and time.
Okay.
Okay, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, you're free to go.
Okay.
Alfreda Carrion, I think she might be in there. There you are.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you talk, or do you go by Denise?
Yes, that's correct.
Did you talk to Miss Denholm or do you want to talk to Miss Denholm?
Is that the prosecutor? I don't believe so.
Okay, the charge before the court is called theft of food over on I-40. Would that be what business is that?
It was actually a Walmart is what it
Okay.
was.
The fine range is $1 to $500. Court costs are $81. Thefts come with extra consequences, not like traffic tickets who had hurt driving records. That's not a theft. The theft, if you get a conviction, future thefts can be filed as a higher charge with proof of a prior conviction. It hurts background checks for jobs. You can't serve as a juror. So regarding this theft, are you wanting time to hire an attorney or to have a trial regarding it?
No, ma'am. I'd like to plead no contest and try to expunge it later. I don't know if that's going to be a possibility, but
Okay, so when you tell me the words that you just used, what you're saying to me is that I think you want to say for a deferred. A deferred's like being on probation for it,
And what you're telling to the rest of us is those words don't mean what you think they mean.
would have to pay the $520.
okay.
Okay, so an expunction, you're using words that mean some different things than deferred. An expunction you would get if you had a trial and you were found not guilty. You would then go and ask for an expunction because you want it erased from the record.
Okay.
You can also maybe ask for an expunction if you're successful on a deferred for dismissal, meaning you waive your right to a trial, pay the $520, and then ultimately follow all the rules surrounding that period of deferred.
Okay. That would
So I don't know
probably
which angle, which way you're trying to work
it would
towards.
probably be the latter with the deferred.
Okay, so then you don't have the $520 to pay today, right?
No, I don't.
So today, what I would like you to do is plead not guilty. Do you
Okay.
need 30, 45, or 60 days before you come back in person? I won't allow the next one to be virtual. It has to be in person since it's a theft.
Okay.
How many days do you need before you come back?
30 would be fine.
Okay, so you're gonna get an in-person court date that's about 30 days out, and we're gonna email it to you, okay?
Okay.
So when you have the $520, if it's before that court date, come ahead of time, Monday through Friday at 11 or 2. This Friday, though, we're closed. So you can come ahead of that court date in person to enter into that deferred agreement, okay?
Okay, and I will not need an appointment for that. I can just show up.
Right, you don't need an appointment as long as you come in, like you're here at 10:30 and then you see a judge at 11, or you're here at 1:30 and you see a judge at 2.
Okay.
Okay, but if you haven't come ahead of time, don't miss that court date. We're gonna email it to you, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So if you haven't gotten that email by Thursday, something's wrong, so look in your spam. But if you haven't gotten it, send an email and we'll send it to you a different way, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Zoe Holtman.
Yes, that one's me.
Hi, Miss Holtman. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I am showing I'm missing your driving safety course certificate, your driving record, and your affidavit.
Yes.
Okay. So you didn't do
Um,
anything you're supposed to do on driver safety
I
course?
applied for the course. I don't think I did it to the correct court, and I didn't complete it. Correct.
So you never completed it then? Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's unfortunate. Let me look and see. So you didn't turn anything in. Hold on, let me take a look. Oh, that's not you. Okay, Miss Holtman. Well, unfortunately, that means this citation is going to go on your driving record. You're still going to owe $119. Can you pay that today?
No, but I can pay it by the end of the week.
Perfect. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order you to actually get the whole thing paid in the next 30 days, but pay it by the end of the week so you don't forget.
Okay.
I'm going to send you a payment due letter that's going to come, or excuse me, let me rephrase. I'm going to send you a payment extension agreement, but if you get it paid by the end of the week, don't worry about returning anything. But if you don't get it paid by the end of the week, return all your paperwork, okay?
Okay.
So do you want me to send that to you by mail or by email?
Email, please.
Perfect. We're going to email that to you. Make sure you print it, sign it, and return it, or just make sure you get your case paid by Friday.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're free to go. Hey, Mr. Pena. You'll unmute yourself, sir. Tap your screen, look for the where it says audio.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. Hello, ma'am.
Sometimes it takes Zoom a second to respond. Okay, we're missing your insurance coverage from June 30th to December 26th. I only show I have it through August 18th.
I have the well, honestly, yeah, just about all the deals. I don't know why it wouldn't show, but yeah, I've been paying on it.
Is it through affordable insurance?
Yes, ma'am. Hold on. Yeah, Blue Fire Insurance, affordable insurance. Yes, ma'am.
And you feel like you've paid it the whole time?
Yes, ma'am. I've been, yeah, it's because I pay for my wife's and mine ever since that had happened. And yeah, it's been it's $67.10 every month. And I only got the bare minimum too. I only got the
liability, what
yes,
you had to have by state law. Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually not that bad of a price for two people. I'm just saying. He found a good deal.
So let me reset this. Can you email me that information and we'll double check it again? I would like to call that insurance company back, make sure that they gave us the right information.
Oh, okay. So do I go to the insurance company to grab that, or I mean, I can drive up there. I am in Dumas, but I can drive up there and take all the cards if need be.
Well, I'm just concerned that maybe we didn't have good information. Maybe the person we talked to didn't give us good information. You can email it to me, or you can go to your insurance company and say, look, the court tried to verify my insurance from August 18th through December 26th, and they weren't able to. So can you give me something that I can submit to them to show proof?
Yeah, 7, 8, and oh well, I guess I don't know. I don't have the one for
August 18th to December 26th.
okay. August would be like month what? Like 6?
August 8. It's 8.
8/18. I have 8/18 right here. 7/18 to 8/18. I got these two right here.
Okay, then do you have 8/18 to 9/18?
8/18.
It's 7/18 to 8/18 is not in dispute.
Okay.
8/18 to 12/26 that's in dispute. That I'm missing.
Actually, I think I might have to go up there.
Okay.
I
Let
don't
me
have.
reschedule you. I'm going to reschedule this for March 30th.
Okay.
But if you can provide that insurance proof, we can get it looked at before then.
Okay. But if it,
And-
but like, just say if it didn't get paid, because I was kind of doing, what would that mean? Because I did pay the tickets off.
I know, but it's the insurance that we sure need you to keep.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it would go on your driving record, and then if you've had a previous no insurance ticket, this would cause where you got a conviction for it. This would cause your license to be suspended. So it's really, that's why people always want to do deferred. So they don't get their license suspended.
Yeah.
But in order to do deferred on no insurance, we require you to get insurance, which makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, but dang, that's kind of, how long would you
I
lose?
know the state's really strict. They want everybody to have liability insurance, which again makes sense. If you hit my car, I want you to pay for it with your insurance. I don't want to have to pay for it, right? Yeah. So, okay. So do you want me to give you the time to?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll reset you. We're gonna send you notice by mail and by email of your new address, of your new court hearing. It's gonna be March 30th, and it'll be a Zoom hearing just like this one, okay?
Mhm.
But do you know how to send me documents via email?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay, look in your chat. So tap the screen again, look for the word chat. It might be under the word more.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Click on that chat, tap on the screen, see where it says chat. Take a screenshot of that chat that Christine sent you. So then you'll have our email address.
Okay.
Mr. Pena, I show that you signed up for deferred disposition on a no insurance ticket. And then the number one rule is the number two rule. Number one is not to break the law. And number two is to keep that insurance the whole time and not let it lapse. We have a 4-month lapse in your insurance coverage.
I barely did it earlier too. I just barely sent the thing that they sent me, and she told me I hadn't paid for like the month of November is what she had said, but I had paid for the rest of them.
Okay. Well, so you just emailed that in?
Yeah, I just did it like about maybe 35 minutes ago or so, or 40 minutes.
Okay, let me, so I'm gonna give Maria a chance to look that one up too. So Maria, if you'll look those up for us, let me know when they're in there and I'll take a look at them, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Pena, you're welcome to mute yourself also.
Okay,
And I'll be back with y'all in a minute. Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Conrad, what company is this insurance through?
They call themselves Affordable Insurance, and they go through some other company that's called Blue Fire Insurance. It's like the cheapest one that they have available here.
Here's the problem. This receipt that you sent, while it's helpful, it doesn't have your name on it. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, it does. I'm sorry, it does.
But it's a different policy number, so they must have changed your policy.
Oh,
Maybe that's why we weren't able to find it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, the policy number changed.
Yeah, and I guess I couldn't really like check it out either because I've been working out over there in Oklahoma on a custom harvesting crew, so I hadn't really had a chance to like go and check all that stuff out.
Okay. Okay, you've got to keep this insurance and not let it lapse. I know it's expensive, but it's really important, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to dismiss the case so that it doesn't go on your, it doesn't affect your driving record. But
Okay.
make sure you keep that insurance. I wish you the
Yes,
best
ma'am.
of luck.
No, I got it. I got my wife on it now, so I don't. So I'm
Okay, good.
miss out on her.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. You're free to go.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a good day.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we've got Mr. Conrad's in there already, Judge, and then we're getting Kesey's in.
I got it.
Perfect. Okay, we'll see you in about a month. Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Okay, Mr. Piedra.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Piedra, I'm missing your driving safety course certificate. Did you take the course?
Yes, ma'am. I believe so.
Did you take it on or
I
before
probably
January
didn't.
20th?
Yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
did it like a month, probably like a couple weeks before I got pulled over and stuff.
No.
Then when I went to the court.
What do you mean? You're not supposed to take it before you get pulled over. You had to take
No, I
driver
took it. No, I
safety.
took it after. No, I took it
Okay.
after when I went to the court and they.
I see. So
I'm glad you see, Your Honor, because I am completely confuddled. I took it a couple weeks, maybe a month before I got pulled over. What? I don't think that's how that works.
So I've never received the certificate. So do you want me to give you time to contact the vendor you took the course through so you can get a copy of it?
Yes, ma'am. If that would be
Okay.
fine.
Okay, I'm going to reset you. And the whole point is for you to get that driving safety course certificate. So you'll need to figure out who you took the course from. See if you can get that certificate from them. It's going to have to show you took the course on or before January 20th. I will reset your court date. You'll receive notice by mail and by email. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Did take it?
I did take it. I just think fucking.
Okay, and then we're going to go to Nisqually Olympia. And what's your name, please? Over there at the jail, ma'am, your name, please?
Miss Woods. Sharon Woods.
Woods, okay, thank you. All right, and Ms. Woods, today you're here in court for your arraignment. The charge against you is violation of a restraining order. And the city of Olympia alleges that happened on March 30th. All right, Mr. Sneva.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're going to enter a stipulation for the purpose for today's hearing. For the purpose of today's hearing only, to probable cause. We're going to enter a plea of not guilty. We are going to ask to be appointed counsel. She currently has Mr. Rusnak, was here just a few weeks ago on a related matter, the underlying matter for this, and nothing's changed in her financial situation. So we'd ask that she be appointed counsel and to be heard on conditions of release, Your Honor.
All right, then Ms. Woods, I'll enter your not guilty plea and appoint counsel for you again on this case. And what's the city's position on release?
Today the city has concerns about the quick turnaround. It looks like she was just arraigned on 3/18. That's when that order was put in place. During these allegations of violating that order, she made statements to law enforcement that she didn't read the order. She doesn't know what it says. Basically just didn't pay attention to it. It was crafted because they do live in the same apartment complex. So it was crafted so that nobody would be, forced out of their home. However, and they live on separate floors. However, the allegation is that the defendant went up to the second floor, went to the direct neighbor's house, neighbor's apartment to the protected party, was walking past the protected party's location. So I have concerns about her likelihood to reoffend if this is such a quick turnaround and saying that she just didn't read the orders, not paying attention to it. It's very specific. She would have been in court and it would have been explained to her. So
He's the one with the tops next. If anything, I'm gonna stay away from her.
Miss Woods, don't interrupt, please.
Okay.
Okay, just that is not going to help the situation. It's not going to help you. Sorry, go ahead, Miss Pinkston.
So at this time, I am asking for minimal bail on the new one, only asking for $1,000. On the backup one, that assault underlying, I'm not asking for any change in those conditions. It looks like she was PR'd on that. So just 1,000 on the new one and then reinforcement of that order that exists.
All right, Mr. Sneva.
Thank you, Your Honor. We asked that the court PR her today. I understand the frustration that the city has in this matter. I think if she stays on the first floor, she'll have no concerns at all. Again, the allegations that the city went into appear to be what's in the probable cause statement. Is she went to a neighbor's to borrow something or ask for something, and that came allegedly within a foot violation of a number of feet. And so she's going to need to be much more careful moving forward. But this isn't an allegation where she directly tried to contact or didn't. She didn't, and she's avoided contact other than these allegations. So I'd ask to give her another chance. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Woods, do you see how no contact orders work?
Yes.
Okay, when the police come and they have information that you violated them, they're going to arrest you and put you in the jail. All right, so they are serious. Even if you don't read them when you get out of court or don't pay attention to them, they're going to be enforced.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now that you've had this explained to you by Mr. Sneva and by me, are you going to be able to follow this order now?
Okay, yes, I will, definitely.
All right, then I will release you. The conditions of your release are don't violate the law and comply with the order that was previously issued.
Yes, sir.
Your pretrial hearing for both cases is going to be on April 16th at 8:30.
Okay.
All right, so I haven't changed your court date. I've just added another case to it. So we'll see you back here April 16th.
Okay.
All right, you can let the corrections officer know that you're done.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then Nisqually Lacey, ma'am, what's your name, please?
Hi, my name is Savannah Key Flugo. I was married in Grace Harbor County. I use a hyphenated name.
Okay, I'm just looking for it. I've got a lot of names here.
Key, Your Honor.
All right, yeah, Miss Kamari, can you help me out here?
Yes, Your Honor, Key, Savannah Key.
Okay.
K-E-Y.
Yeah, I've got that. All right, so this is a pretrial hearing.
There's other persons in the videos up here that supposed to be happening. So, Your Honor, I have filed a request for a 1077. Ms. Key did tell me today that she wants to proceed pro se. But based on my discussions with her, I believe a 1077 is necessary. I've had a evaluation from your court in Lacey recently. I was kind of confident of with my.
I think they need another eval. If you were just evaluated recently and found competent, well then, I still don't think it's a good idea for you to proceed pro se. There, I said it.
Evaluation, I believe, maybe. I could have been. I do have my royalties, sir. I did have my own bags at the scene. That's only those only stipulations. And Ms. Key, I recommend that you don't discuss the facts of the case. Can I discuss this? I would represent myself if I can. Thank you, Canary. At this time, I don't need you.
Okay. All right. There certainly seems to be grounds to be concerned about whether or not Ms. Keys is competent to proceed. Before I sign an order for competency evaluation, I'll ask the prosecutor. Ms. Keys has a long string of cases where she's been found incompetent and cases dismissed. This particular charge would not be eligible for competency restoration attempt. Do you want me to sign the order for competency evaluation or something else?
I would prefer that.
No, not you, Ms. Key. I'm talking to the prosecutor.
Look, I guess, Your Honor, I was just looking, it looks like she was found guilty in a criminal trespass case in Aberdeen back in 2025. And has a pending robbery case. I apologize. I wasn't aware counsel was going to raise this issue until just a few minutes before 1:30. So I guess I would defer to the court.
Thank you.
Order of competency assessment. Like confirmations May 5th, so we have a little time. All right, I'll put this on the calendar for April 21st for a competency hearing.
So, Your Honor,
So
if it's being that scheduled that far out, are you releasing her today?
No, she's got the same bail set. I was just looking at that.
Correct.
500.
Is there a way we can dismiss at this time and release on my VR recommendations to be returned to, I guess, have to be returned to the competition evaluation for myself? Like show up myself, yeah, on my own time. I understand. On the 21st.
The hearing's in place. I'm just adding an additional one for a competency hearing on April 21st.
April 21st, so what time was that?
Sign the order for a competency evaluation. And we'll see you again on April 21st, Ms. Keys.
Your Honor, may we have it the next hearing on April 14th?
If the competency evaluation's ready.
Right, yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, I mean, whenever it's ready, we can put it on right away. It's just.
Those are some golden negotiating skills you got there, Your Honor. Yeah, what time? I'll sign the order and we'll talk about it.
I said it at the end of the evaluation period, knowing that, you know, that's the maximum time, but if it's ready sooner than that, we'll just have the hearing sooner.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Keys, you can let the officer know you're done.
You definitely will. Okay.
We're gonna go over to.
Definitely will.
Just mute that. We'll go over to Nisqually Olympia, and what's your name, please?
Vanessa Frederickson.
Frederickson, okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Frederickson, you're in court because warrants were served on you. It's like you had missed court on 3 different cases, and we're gonna go ahead and arraign you on 2. So the charges against you are theft in the 3rd degree, alleged to have occurred on June 12th of 2023, and theft in the 3rd degree, alleged to have occurred on April 22nd of 2024. Mr. Sneva?
Thank you, Your Honor. Probable cause has previously been established on both of those, so we're going to enter a plea of not guilty. We'll waive any further advisement of rights. We are asking to be screened for an attorney. She currently does receive public assistance, so I do believe she qualifies, and we'd ask to be heard on conditions of release. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Ms. Frederickson, I'll enter your not guilty plea to each of those 2 counts of theft and appoint Olympia Public Defense to represent you in those cases. And Ms. Pinkston, what's the city's position on conditions?
The defendant has quite the warrant history, both active and inactive. She has a number of outstanding warrants in several different jurisdictions right now. Probably most notable is the escape third from 2022. That's on warrant status, along with a number of other ones, including a DUI from 2019. And I know that we had noted that back in 24 when she originally FTA'd on the 4A case, that warrant was still active back then also. So I think she's proven that she doesn't have a good track record to reappear. So at this time we are asking for bail on I believe both of these are theft matters. I would be asking for one booking bail is 500, and I think another booking bail might be 5,000. But I'm just going to be asking for 1,000 each today, and that's really only because of the age of the cases.
Okay, Mr. Sneva.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm gonna ask for her release today. I think she's in a methadone clinic. She's doing better, and I think she's hopefully getting a lot of these things cleaned up. I do note that the last allegation does appear to be from over 2 years ago at this point. I will note, so I don't really know enough to know how to what I exactly should be asking for, but it sounds like Shelton's got a hold on her too, and I don't know when she'll next be in court there. I didn't get it. I couldn't get that to load when I was talking to her, but there's that aspect as well. So it looks like she may be held by Shelton regardless. Thank you.
Okay, so Ms. Frederickson currently has 12 outstanding warrants, and these cases are very old. I'll set bail in each one at $500. Conditions of release or don't violate the law. And we'll set a pretrial hearing date for you for both of them, Ms. Frederickson.
That's $6,000 right out the snot.
All right, April 21st at 8:30 is your pretrial hearing date.
Can I say something?
And then I am gonna take the older case from 2010, the CR 216185, and that case will be closed. All right, Ms. Frederickson, what did you need to say?
I was just gonna say, I'm starting school at SPSCC on April 6th for the spring quarter. And I go to the methadone clinic. I've just currently gotten clean and sober, but I have commitments that I have made in my clean and sober life. If I could, I'm asking if I could, I also have a home now, which is something that I've never had before, where when I missed court dates all the time, and I'm just asking if I could have the opportunity to be released so that I can bring myself back to court and prove that.
All right, Ms. Frederickson, I just heard arguments on that and made my decision. So if there's going to be any changes, talk it over with your attorney, and your attorney will decide how to approach the court about that.
Okay.
You can let the corrections officer know that you're done.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, judge wasn't having it. Okay, apparently Jerry really wants me to play a clip. I have not watched it. I have not edited it. But he really wants it played. I'm barely awake, so I'm trying to zap myself asleep. Awake. Golly darn it, gee Louise. Jerry, I don't like you right now. I'm tired. All right. Video file. I have to wait for it to load. Stop it. Stop doing things that I don't mean to click on you to do. I think it was called misdemeanor. Here we go. Yeah, this should be it. I may have to scooch forward a little bit.
yesterday's,
Oh,
which means we have.
there were words. I saw Phil said 5 minutes of nothing, so I was taking him at his word. And he lied. He lied to me.
Good morning. Today is the last day of March. We've all made it through the direst of the winter months, November, December, January, February, March. Tomorrow's April 1st. Today is Tuesday. It's odd number Tuesday, which means we have a very busy morning.
I think this is not the one. I think I got the wrong one. Because the one... Jerry, is this the right one? Hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Ah, see? I thought so. Hold on. Because it was the day before. Oh, yeah, hold on. Okay. Monday. It's your fault, Jerry. I'm too tired to be doing this crap. What date was Monday? It was the 30th. Yeah, I was right. The day before. It's loading. I might not have it in MP4 format, and if that's the case, you're just going to have to wait your happy little tushy. Let's see here. 30th. I know I got the cases that day, but the question is, did I get it in an MP4? Simpson, Jolie, Hasselink, 10th Judicial District Circuit Court of Florida, Simpson, Clallam, 44th. Oh, for crying in the mud. Never remember how badly you need glasses until you go to do something like this. Hey Jerry, it's not an MP4 format. It must have downloaded as a WebM. I'm double checking. I'm going back through the list again. No. Sorry, Jerry. Hold on. Nope. Sorry, Jerry. You're gonna have to just wait. Yeah, but it won't play. It won't play from the link because it's taken down off the site. Sorry. Oh, darn it. I better call my tax guy. It's not up still, is it? I don't know. You're the one that wants it so bad. Hold on. Oh, the things I do for you. For those who don't know, I'm just fussing with him. Teasing him because I can. Jerry's actually a very, very good friend of the channel. Let's see. I'm looking for Judge Middleton's court. There it is. Okay. All right, I found it. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, that's got to be it. All right, hold on. See, Jerry does this. He gets all super, super, super excited about something, and then he just obsesses over it until he cons me into playing it. And 9 times out of 10, it's not as good as he thinks it is. I have hope because it's Judge Middleton. Wait. Is this the same? No. This has got to be the right one.
All right, we're going to shift gears, as we often do on Mondays, from general civil matters to some misdemeanor criminal matters. At 10:30, we have this matter scheduled. People versus Tracy Ellen Waller Penner. That's you.
Correct.
Here with your lawyer, Ms. Jordan Harden. Also present is Priscilla Walton, who prepared the pre-sentence report. And Abby Stoll is here from the prosecuting attorney's office. This is a charge of domestic violence or domestic assault. Defendant entered a plea in this matter by no contest on February 26th. The matter was set for sentencing today. The defendant called after the plea was entered and expressed concerns that she felt like she's not getting her side of the story told, felt her attorney wasn't helping her do that, and wasn't clear whether she wanted to go forward with her sentence. I took quite some time in taking this plea, but the law says that a defendant has the right to withdraw their plea prior to the sentence. And this court is supposed to construe that with great liberality, meaning the court is more likely to grant the motion than not. So we were quite taken aback when you did call, and we relayed that to Ms. Harden. Do you wish to withdraw your no contest plea, or do you wish me to go forward with the sentence here this morning?
I don't necessarily wish to withdraw it, but I would like to tell my side of the story.
Well, that's what today is for.
Okay. And
one of the problems is you can't plead no contest and then say, but I really didn't do it. When you plead no contest, you're sort of stuck with the factual basis. I can hear other related matters, but you can't plead guilty to drunk driving or plead no contest to drunk driving and then say I wasn't driving, or plead no contest and say, well, I drank after I got in the accident. If you plead no contest, the conviction stands. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I asked for a pre-sentence report in this matter, and Priscilla Walton has prepared it. She's new to this probation officer position, but she'd been with the office for a number of years, and she did a good job on her pre-sentence report. Because I didn't know what to do with you. There's a great big purple elephant in the room, which is alcohol. You have a very substantial alcohol addiction problem. We worked on it when you were in sobriety court. We limped over the finish line. And somewhere between then and now, you've relapsed, and alcohol was behind this. And the irony of it is, this person who's the complainant in this case was the child in the car at the time of your drinking driving conviction a number of years ago. So I asked Priscilla to help us, and she's prepared the report. So with all that in mind, Ms. Harden, what would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. I did talk to Ms. Wood-Penner this morning, just to affirm kind of what direction we were taking. She indicated that, as she had relayed to the court, she had concerns that her side of the story was not being told. I advised her that when you enter a not guilty plea, that's not how that particular portion of the process works, and that today would be her opportunity to tell the court what she wished for the court to hear. It sounds like she has some other information about the incident she wants the court to be aware of. She advises me she has a photo of injury she sustained that she would like the court to see, which I've advised her she can present during her statement to the court. Her concern is not necessarily being on a probation. It's the medical complications that come from the standard no alcohol testing provision that's part of every probation that this court imposes. She advised me that she does have some issues with her, I believe it was her kidneys, that mess with her creatinine levels. So she had advised in the past she tested, dilute quite frequently, which, as the court is aware, is treated as a positive in terms of probation. So she did advise she has medical documentation of that from Bronson. So her concern is being sanctioned for testing if she truly is sober, but the medical issues that could.
I'm not going down that path again. We struggled that whole probation. My current position, I believe she was trying to get over on us, that it wasn't all medical issues, that she was trying to dodge between the raindrops and was drinking while she was on that probation. But I'm not going to struggle with that every time she's diluted because it was anguishing. And so she may not be able to do a probation, but there were some underlying issues of that.
Well, and she's also got some current medical issues with her thyroid that are having a significant impact on her health as well. So her main concern with the probation is not complying with the terms of the probation, is the medical issues creating complications, which could result in sanctions for her. Again, she's indicated that she wishes to relay some additional information about the incident to the court, and her frustration that she wasn't able to do that prior to today. But as I and the court have advised her, today's her ability to do that.
And that is the day for it. It's not the date of the arraignment. It's not the date of the plea. It's the date of the sentencing, where I will say, what do you want me to know? Now, if I gave you a test right now, what would it show?
Nothing.
Okay.
And I believe she was tested at the time of the plea and was a PPT was administered and she was 0. So I do believe that she's on the right path to getting back into a sober lifestyle. I think the health issues are essentially forcing her to accept sobriety at this point. I think the recommendation that Ms. Walton has prepared is fair and appropriate. I think the probation could offer her services. However, again, her concern is the testing, and if a medical reason were to cause a dilute, the sanction that would stem from that. So I've advised her just to get everything she has from her providers to probation so they're aware, and to DRC as well. However, I think the recommendation for probation is appropriate.
All right, Tracy, we'll hear from the prosecutor and then we'll hear from you. Ms. Stoll, do you have any input on this?
I'll defer to Ms. Walton, Your Honor.
All right, let her go last. All right, Ms. Wallers, Penner. As I said, this is the time at sentencing for you to tell me what you want me to know. I've had dozens of conversations with you over the years. What do you want me to know about this circumstance?
Well, Your Honor, how the morning had started was that I slept in but woke up and I could not find my cigarettes, which made me angry. Because in the past, Brielle has stolen and hid everything from my cigarettes to my purse to my car keys.
How old is she now?
She'll be 18 next week.
Okay.
To sorry, feeling a little emotional.
That's fine.
She's went as far as to take all my prescription medication and drive around with it in her car. One of which was an opioid, and I told her she could get in big trouble for that. She just needed to stop, but she struggled with stopping. And she can get very mouthy. She thinks I was drunk. I had just switched from taking trazodone at night of 50 milligrams, and they doubled it on me to 100. So most mornings I wake up very groggy. Takes me a couple hours to get up and get going. But anyway, I hollered at her, where'd you put my cigarettes? And she got real lippy. So I walked back into my room and I sat down on the edge of the bed and I called Spectrum, and I was going to suspend her phone for a couple days just because I told her over and over that her mouth is going to be the death of her. And at that point, she comes screaming, running down the hall, and the Spectrum person could hear everything. And she grabbed my phone and we played tug of war. We need to try to get it back. And I was just really trying to hang up the phone. But she managed to get it away from me. She took it and went out in the living room and sat down on the sofa. And my assault was walking out, and I was behind her, and I tugged on her hair once to get her attention. I'm here and I want my property back. That's when she decided she wanted to, her arms were flailing and she dug my neck all up. And I finally just let go of it and let her keep it. She went back to her room. I went in mine.
What did she have it?
My cell phone.
Oh, your cell phone.
My
Okay.
cell phone. She went in the room and shut the door, and she always, her and Steve had kept saying, just get out of the house. So I grabbed my purse and I left and went to the Hampton Inn. On the way, I did buy a pint of vodka. I only consumed it at the hotel in my room. I was not drinking the morning that she says I was. She's just been an angry 17-year-old. Anytime I tried to discipline her, she wasn't having any part of it. And the cell phone and the car seem to be the only two things she understands.
Where is she now?
She is staying with her Aunt Kathy, Steve's sister. And I spoke to Child Protective Services, and we signed a power of attorney, so she was legally placed, and I told her that she could stay. That's where she's comfortable at right now. I've had very minimal contact with her. But it's been building. It's been a struggle since middle school. We did have an incident in middle school in 8th grade where she had a friend over, and she always acted terrible to sort of impress the friend. And she was being lippy, And they were down in the basement. So I walked down and I took her iPad out of her hands and started back up the stairs. And she jumped on my back and punched me in the head. There was a police report filed on that. They came and talked to both of us, and she sat in the police car for a while, and ultimately he just let her go and come back in the house. But the electronics and violent behavior seem to go hand in hand. I don't expect that she'll come back home until she goes to college.
Do you have any insight to the fact that the way she acts is related to the way you parented her?
Oh yeah, I let her get away with everything. Just
Yeah,
like
but
my
you were
mom did.
struggling with alcoholism through all that time, and you were drunk a lot of the time. She says, Mom's drunk again this morning. So she didn't respect you.
No.
And somehow that's all her fault.
No.
No.
I'm not saying that.
You've lost her respect. And I was troubled by the fact that you left and they waited around for more than an hour for you to come back, as if maybe you'd gone to buy cigarettes or something. And apparently you checked into a motel and got drunk. So that's not a very good solution to this. You don't have much insight as to how much responsibility you have for the way things are in your house, which are not good. Priscilla, you drew this difficult assignment. It wasn't even autumn yet. It was still Gina when we went through the probation with this defendant earlier. And I was disappointed when I saw this come through because she completed the program a number of years ago and I was hoping things were better, but things don't go up and down. Now, Bill Hack's her grandpa?
Yeah, he married my mom.
All right, so he was concerned about this as well.
Yes, she had called him. But then she left. So.
All right.
And Your Honor, I don't think she respects anybody. It's not just me.
Okay. She's obviously angry. Did we get any additional victim input from the complaining witness?
She did not want to be involved in sentencing today, Your Honor.
All right, Priscilla, having all that in mind, what's your thought here?
I don't have much more else to add, Your Honor. This is a very sad situation. I agree with you as to what you said. I think Miss Waller's daughter's behavior in part is having history of her mom possibly being intoxicated and assuming that her mom is intoxicated when she is groggy and stealing her medication, stealing her purse, all that stuff. I think it contributes to Miss Waller's behavior with alcohol. And it may be part in as she's a teenager as well. Unfortunately, we did not get any input from the victim in this case. I'm recommending a 24-month probation for Miss Wallers to complete a substance abuse assessment, which Miss Wallers did indicate to me that she reached out to Pivotal on her own to try to schedule a substance abuse assessment. She's aware that she struggles with alcohol. And I think her complete anger management would be helpful for her to know how to handle situations as these. Miss Wallers already has an estranged relationship with her oldest daughter, so it would be unfortunate if she comes to the same circumstance with her youngest daughter as well.
let's assume for a minute her version that she didn't take your cigarettes. That you wake up, according to you, disoriented from your medication. You can't find your cigarettes and you're angry and you all assume that she took them. So she's minding her business and she says, you come in yelling at her, where's my smokes? And that's how the morning started. And she said, I didn't take your effing smokes. That's how low rent all that sounds. So then you decide, either in a moment of disorientation or a moment of clarity, you're going to call Spectrum and turn off her phone. And then she says to the Spectrum lady, my mom's real drunk. And she tells the police you were real drunk. So I don't know which is accurate, whether you were drunk, whether you were medicated, or stone cold sober. I think you were impaired either by something. And you're not supposed to mix medication with alcohol with those medications. So you started it. And now, over some dumb cigarettes, your daughter's living out of the home with an aunt, probably doing okay, making her way in the world. And the fact that you don't have any relationship with your daughters is on you. I agree with Priscilla that you could benefit from a probation, but I'm not going down that dilute path again. So one option is just give you 90 days in jail right now and get it over with. You'll get 5 days a month, good time. That'll be about 75 days. You'll be out before the summer is over. The other option is try to go through probation. Have you started AA or anything back again?
I've not started AA, and I couldn't tell you the exact date. I meant to look it up, but I believe I have my first appointment at Pivotal the end of this week.
That mitigates toward just 90 days in jail. You have a serious, substantial, long-term alcohol substance abuse addiction. And you don't need me to tell you that. It's wreaked havoc on your life and your family's life. Nobody drinks straight vodka in a motel room at 9 o'clock in the morning unless they've got a serious, substantial alcoholic problem. And you haven't done anything about it. You've been to AA, you had a sponsor, you may have even been a sponsor. And after all this went down, it's like, well, that's not my problem. So you haven't done anything about it. Her mouth may be the death of her. Some of that is how 17-year-old girls are. Some of it is the times we live in, and some of it is in the environment she grew up in. Do you think you can do a probation?
Yeah.
Why haven't you gone back to AA?
Honestly, I have not felt well. The thyroid issue has caused me extreme fatigue. I'm nauseated all the time. I'm either sweating and burning up or freezing to death. So I was glad to at least finally get a diagnosis so I could work on that. Because I was beside myself. What was wrong with me? And it took my doctor a long time to find it. I don't know why, but
What is your diagnosis?
it's hyperthyroidism.
Well, you were struggling with that when I knew you 10 years ago. It was a thyroid issue.
But they never confirmed anything. They just speculated. And
Well, I thought that's what it was.
she put me through a bunch of tests, and I had another physician tell me that he also thought that was the issue.
Well,
so we're in the process of figuring out the medication.
Well, whatever it is, you're not supposed to mix alcohol with it. And you're not capable of just holding your breath and saying, hey, I'm not going to drink any alcohol, because you can't. You need more. I know for a fact, we were talking about hyperthyroidism when you were in our program and you kept having all those dilutes. That was 12 years ago.
And then we talked a lot about diabetes, and they had not found that. And it took me going to Fort Wayne to the hospital to find out about that. So it was just a slow process trying to get my body figured out.
Smoking and drinking aren't real good for your body either. I don't ever try to deal with smoking. I got enough problems trying to get people off other substances. All right, I'm going to order 90 days jail. Credit 1. Of the 90 days ordered, 89 are deferred. But if we have a probation violation, I'm just going to give you all 89 days. I don't want you to try to dodge between the raindrops again and beat the testing. It won't be as much testing as it was in sobriety court. But this is going to be a tough assignment for Priscilla. The fine is $0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee and a $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee, probation oversight fee to $480. I'm putting you on a 12-month probation. At that time, we'll see what the prosecutor thinks about the deferral. Let's add that up.
Your Honor, my understanding in dealing with Ms. Canfield for the plea was that they were not willing to offer the deferral.
I understand, but maybe if she does a really good job on probation, maybe they'll reconsider. Won't hurt to ask, but the deferral is not part of this agreement because I can't do it unless the prosecutor consents.
I don't think she's eligible, Your Honor.
I don't think she has a previous DV, does she?
The child abuse.
Oh,
conviction.
yeah, maybe that did it. The
That's
child,
what Ms. Canfield
Yeah.
advised.
yep. Thank you, Abby. Yeah, the child in the car, that means you're not eligible, so I guess it won't matter. Even if they did agree to it, you're not eligible for it. You're to pay for the class. That's $755. Have a PR bond. Anger management, substance abuse counseling, no assault or threatening behavior, alcohol and drug testing as directed.
Is accountability courses a thing? Because I think she could use some of them too. He's pensive, pondering.
I'm not sure if you're willing to, your life would get better, health-wise, wealth-wise, relationship-wise, if you could get alcohol out of it. And if you don't want to go to AA, I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to give you a jail and you can get out and continue with your life. But I want you to get plugged back into some support group.
Just like him. So how long before she violates? I don't think it'll be long.
I'm not going to beat myself up over this. It's either going to work or it isn't. The women's anger management class, I think you could greatly benefit from. And if we could get your substance abuse situation under control, you come out better at the other end than you are at going in the end. If not, I'm just going to give you some jail time and then let you go on with your life as you see fit. All right, I want you to go with Miss Walton, and she will get you plugged into this probation. You're also to sign a release from Pivotal or whatever, whoever's doing your services. All right, good luck. I hope this works. If it doesn't, it will. Miss, and
Oh, I was muted. I was saying everybody can thank Jerry for that one. Yeah, it was Google Play telling me that my Chewy app that I downloaded this afternoon was installed and ready to use. I knew that. I just didn't need to use it yet. Could be. He just doesn't want to deal with her anymore. He fell asleep in his recliner. Give him a break. Which I am going to go do in my bed. I'm going to go fall asleep. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. Ava, me, kitties, we all appreciate it. Sometimes They all do that sometimes. Overall, I do like Judge Middleton as a person, as a human, but sometimes he's too lenient, but that's not entirely his fault. He has to operate within the bounds of the rules and laws that are set and what the prosecutor does. You know, he can't just wave his magic gavel and spit out any sentence he wants. I'm sure if he could, he'd hand down some tougher sentences than what he does sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, mine came yesterday, actually. I talked all about it. And I learned when I'm done with the stream, there's an option in the monetization area where I can select products. And so I can tag a Strong Heart and Blue Buffalo. And if anybody purchases their products from my tagging abilities, then I guess I earn some kind of a ad revenue off of it. So if you guys do already use Chewy, that's the I try, like, if there's an option of Petco or Chewy, I will pick Chewy. If Petco is the only option for something that I've discussed in the stream, then I have to pick Petco. But anything that I talk about in the stream, I'm supposed to all along have been tagging. I didn't know that. I kind of do it in my description. I have the @ symbol and then the name. So they're kind of tagged in all of my videos, but not the actual product. And you don't have the ability to purchase anything off of my tag, and I don't get anything off of my tag. But now, if I go through with selecting all of the products through YouTube, then I'll get a little bit of a bump. So I'd appreciate it. Next time y'all need a Chewy order, come check out the links in my description and click on them, please. I don't know where they're going to put them. I don't know. I haven't even looked at it. I was too busy trying to find stuff to stream and worrying about my internet going down. And I called around for fiber optic to the 3 places that say they offer fiber optic in my area. One of them, they cover 3% of my area. And of course, I'm not included in that. Another one, their fiber optic service goes to the street next to me, but not mine. And another one covers a tiny little corner of Northwest Toma. Not me. So that means no fiber optic internet for April. But the expected date of turning it on with those companies is 2029. I only have 3 years to wait. Yay. For the morning. I will tag it in the stream if it's available. I'll be doing my tagging tomorrow because I'm too tired. I need to go to bed. I need to go to sleep. I love you all. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.